Today is September the 9th, and I would like to welcome you guys to Legal Wars Podcast. So we're just gonna we're gonna wait a second, you know what I'm saying, till people start getting in the room, and then we'll begin. So guys, we're gonna talk about billionaire minimum tax. We're gonna talk about capital gain tax. Look like we got someone in here. It looks like Amir. How are you doing, Amir? Hey, yeah, Amir. That's what I would do. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, 1,000%. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. As you guys come in, I will ask that you introduce yourself in the chat. You guys, you know what I'm saying? If you say hello, we're having a very interactive stream. It's Monday morning. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get straight to it. We're talking about that billionaire minimum tax. We're talking capital gains taxes, man. I have a feeling that we gonna have some fun this morning. Some fun this morning. So Steelers Nation says Steelers 1-0. Congratulations to the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Saints fan. Saints are 1-0. Not only did the Saints win yesterday, man, they look great doing it. You know what I'm saying? New offensive coordinator. Real excited for the season. We play the Cowgirls next week. You know what I'm saying? In Dallas. So I'm excited about that. But good morning, everyone. You guys, please introduce yourself in the chat as you guys come in. You know what I'm saying? Say hello. We're going to get started in just a second. We're talking a billionaire minimum tax. You know? Guys, as you guys come in, please introduce yourself. Jump down in the chat. Say hello. I'm going to try to read all you guys' comments this morning. I see Sandra says, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing, Miss Sandra? Thank you for being with us. GD says, yo, GD, how you doing? How you doing? Good morning, guys. Good morning. We're going to go ahead and get started, guys. So we're talking the billionaire minimum tax. We're talking capital gain taxes. So if you guys know what capital gain taxes, let's see. Arav says good. If you guys know what capital gain taxes are, you guys could go ahead and start putting your opinion in the chat. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to just go over capital gain taxes for those of us who don't know. So the definition of capital gain taxes are taxes you pay on profits. Who is that? GD says good, doing good, brother. I'm glad you are. Good morning, guys. As you guys come in, would you guys please jump down in the chat? Introduce yourself. We talking capital gain taxes. We talking billionaire minimum taxes. I see Curtum. He said, yo, what's good? How you doing, my brother? Sandra says, how about them Tennessee Titans? I seen them. Knucklehead says, shout out Mike Hawk is big. I hear you, Knucklehead. Arif says, hi from India. How are you doing, guys? I'm going to go ahead and get started. So capital gain taxes you pay on profits made from the sale of assets such as stock or real estate, okay? How much you pay depends on what you sold and how long you owned it before you sold it, your taxable income and your filing status. So there's several different factors. Holding on to an asset for more than a year before selling generally results in more favorable tax rate of 0 to 20%, whereas assets sold within a year or less of ownership are subject to regular income taxes ranging from 10% to 37%. Okay, so capital gain taxes apply to assets that are realized or sold. This means that the return on stocks, bonds, or other investments purchased through and then held within a brokerage are considered unrealized and not subject to capital gain taxes. One important caveat is investments that produce dividends. Even when the underlying stock remains unsold, income you receive from certain dividends can be considered a capital gain. Assets held within tax advantage accounts such as 401ks, IRAs are subject to capital gain taxes while they remain in the account. Instead, you may pay regular income tax when it takes time to make a qualified withdrawal, depending on the type. Okay, guys, we finna get into the meat of it, okay? In 2024, we're talking capital gain taxes, okay? In 2024, single filers with a taxable income of $47,000 or less and joint filers with a taxable income of $94,000 or less and heads of households with a taxable income of $63,000 or less pay 0% on qualified realized long-term gains. So that's right now, guys. That's right now, presently, okay? If you make $47,000 or less, or if you're a single, if you're married, you make $94,000, head of household $63,000 or less, this doesn't apply. If your taxable income exceeds this amount, then you might be subject to 15 or 20% tax rate. Short-term tax gains held for a year or less are taxed at regular income tax rates. The following rates and brackets apply to long-term capital gains sold in 2024, reported on taxes in 2025. I want you guys to remember this. Capital gain taxes only affect those that are selling assets, and you have to make a certain amount of money per year. So this doesn't affect everyone, okay? The Tax Policy Center, the Treasury Department, and the Congressional Joint Committee on Taxation, okay, estimates using estimates that imply that the revenue, that means the amount the government receives from taxing long-term capital gains, is maximized when the top rate is set at 28%. Guys, what that means, you guys could start getting into the comments. I see you guys jumping in. Let's see. Kyle Became says, hi from Atlanta. How you doing, brother? Kurdom says, hi from Kurdistan. How are you doing? Sandra says, let's talk about money. Tell me about the IRA. And Ryan says, tax season. So, guys, listen. So, what Harris has proposed is a 28%, okay? It right now is 20%. That's the same tax that the capital gain tax. That's the same percentage, the max that Donald Trump has it as, okay? Donald Trump wants to drop it to 15%, okay? Harris wants to up it to 28%. And the reason she's doing that is because the Tax Center, the Treasury Department, Congressional Joint Committee on Taxation, they all say 28% is where it's best, okay? So Harris proposed a 28%, like I said before, and she's going to raise that from households making $583,000 a year to $1 million a year. So if your household doesn't make $1 million a year, this isn't going to even affect you. Biden, on the other hand, wanted to raise capital gain taxes to 39.6%. They're at 20% right now, okay? Biden wanted to raise it to 39.6%. So Kamala says only 28%. So that's an 11-point difference between Kamala's plan and Biden's plan. So Trump wants to cut capital gain taxes as defined in Project 2025 to 15% for top owners, okay? So let's compare and contrast the plans. I want you guys to jump down in the comments. Tell me you guys what you think, okay? So you think that we should raise the capital gain tax or should we keep it where it's at? So I'm gonna start reading you guys your comments. So Arn Grant said, why do you keep talking? Okay, and Do Below says, Kamala sold me Fent. I'm saying do below. Why do you say that? I don't understand that. Okay, so let's see. Compare and contrast. Harris supports the billionaire minimum tax for households with a net income of over $100 million. What you guys think about the billionaire minimum tax? Are you guys in favor of it? Because out of all the people in the stream right now, if you're not a billionaire, this won't even affect you. So will you guys tell me, do you support it or are you against it? And while I have you guys in there, I would like if you guys participate. Let's have a conversation. If you guys are supporting Donald Trump, put a T in the chat. Excuse me. If you're supporting Kamala Harris, put a K in the chat. Lee, how are you doing? Thanks for you to join the chat. So, okay, Biden's proposed tax rate will be at least 25%, a notable increase for the wealthiest taxpayers who reportedly pay an average of tax rate of about 8.2% overall right now. So let's look at the plans. So Harris' plan could generate additional income to fund social programs that she wants to fund. It could reduce income inequality, you know what I'm saying? And it can preserve incentives for long-term investment and entrepreneurship. So I'm jumping down in the comments. I see Sandra saying she voted for Kamala. Jason, how you doing, brother? Thanks for coming back to the stream, man. So we got a bunch of Harris voters in here. I see Insidious Blue. She says she's voting for Kamala. I see Kelly in the chat. Kelly, how are you doing, girl? So Kelly, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add you as a moderator, Kelly. Let's see. I think I did that. So yeah, Kelly, so welcome to the chat. I see DJR says he voting for Kamala, or DRJ, I'm sorry. Lee says nope. Best man C. Scott said there's no transparency on how taxes are allocated. That is true. So this is what I'm saying, C. Scott. You saying that you don't see a transparency of once the government takes the money, what they actually spend the money that they have taken, what they actually spend the money on. There's not enough transparency on that. C. Scott, that's a great comment, brother. I agree with you completely, 100%. So Simone K says, I love watching and listening to you, Trump 2024. Thank you so much, Simone. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Good morning, Miss Kelly. I've added you as a moderator. So Arv says, I'll subscribe to your channel. Thank you. Thank you guys for all the love. You guys, if you don't mind, you'll go ahead and hit the like button on the video. You'll subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I would appreciate that so much, guys. So right now, guys, I want y'all to get in the comments, man. We're talking about the tax plan. Which tax plan do you like the best? Or do you like on capital gain taxes? Do you like Trump's tax plan where he wants to drop the capital gain tax to 15%? Or do you favor Kamala's tax plan when she wants to raise it to 28%? So let's see what we got. National Park Tourism said, my man's all about that Project 2025, man. Yeah, that's what Trump's about. And in Project 2025, that's where I get that from. He wants to drop the capital gains tax further from what it already is. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's about 20%. He wants to drop it down to 15%. So Amber 2K17 says it's not going to be what they say it's going to be. Why you say that, Amber? Could you please expound on that? Stunner, how you doing, brother? Says, I don't believe Kamala will be different than Biden. I'm not a U.S. citizen, an outsider's point of view. I respect that point of view a lot, brother. I think that points of view that come from people that are not in America, I really like to see what they think. So let's see. So Stunner says he don't believe Kamala will be different than Biden. I tend to disagree with that, Stunner. And the reason why I tend to disagree is because I see her breaking from Biden on key economic issues, like that capital gains tax. Listen, Biden wanted that capital gains tax nearly 40% at 39.6%. Okay, he never got the legislation. He never got it passed. Okay, if he would have ran for president again, I guarantee you he would have tried to get that passed to almost double the capital gains tax. Okay, so VP Harris only wants to increase it by 8%, and she's actually following the advice of the Tax Policy Center, the Treasury Department, Congressional Joint Committee on Taxation, who said that the tax rate being at 28%, capital gains tax is actually better. So I'm gonna keep on reading you guys comments. Thank you though, Stunner, for that comment. Kelly says supporting Kamala, conflicted as a Christian. However, I agree with you, Kelly. I think a lot of people have that problem. And Decidious Blue said, isn't Project 25 getting rid of public schooling? Yes, man. I don't know about public schooling, but they are definitely attacking the Department of Education and Project 2025. Thank you for that comment. Fighting the Evil says Detroit supports you. I appreciate that, brother, man. I thank all you guys who have started to support me. Simone K, I see you. National Park Tourism says I'm a Trump supporter who does not like 25. I personally don't think Donald Trump all the way likes Project 2025. That's a bunch of conservative people who came up with that. And we've seen Donald Trump try to distance himself from it. But the thing about Donald Trump, in my opinion, I believe he's easy to influence. So I believe that a lot of conservatives will actually be able to influence Donald Trump into actually implementing some of those policies. And that's scary to me. So I'm still in the comments. Lee says, I'm curious to know what your motive is. I'm not sure what you mean, Lee. So Scott says, Harris backtracks on every single issue she has ever spoken. Scott, I've spoken about this before. Thank you for that comment, brother. I'm not sure if you've been in the chat before, but I've covered this on the stream. Scott, I'm going to go ahead and say this for you, though, real quick. It's like this, Scott. Say if I envision my life as being an NFL player, right? Hypothetical situation. So I got a homeboy, and I'm sitting here telling my homeboy, like, when I get in the NFL, I'm talking about what the things that I want to do when I become a NFL player, right? So say probably about a year or two later, I got that big contract, Scott, and now I'm in the NFL. A lot of those things that I told my homeboy, Scott, I'm gonna change. You see what I'm saying? Whenever a candidate wants to be president, so when they're trying to get in the White House, they might have a certain vision for policies that they want to execute. But once they get in the White House, they see the red tape and how difficult it is to execute those policies. Then you're going to change on some positions, Scott. So I could see like every candidate changes on positions. To me, like what I count is once they get in the White House, if they pivoting in the White House, then that's what I count, Scott. So Amber says, does anyone realize that Kamala is actually in office right now? She could, by all rights, be doing the same stuff she's talking about doing. I don't agree with that all the way, Amber. And the reason why I say that is because Kamala is the VP, okay? That's like the same thing in 2017 when Trump took over, man. Pence was the VP. We don't hold anything that happened, really, even COVID. We hold nothing that happened from 2017 to 2021. We can't pin that on Mike Pence. You see what I'm saying? So, Amber, I disagree with you. Kamala is the vice president. She is not the president, so she does not affect the policy actually right now. Lee says houses might go down, taxes go up. Not good. I don't see why you say that, Lee, because she's not imposing a tax hike on all Americans. She's only imposing a capital gain tax. So I just went over that. Capital gains is like only like really when you're selling an extra investment, like you are selling an asset like a house, or you're selling like stocks or dividends. So she's only imposing an 8% increase on capital gain taxes, which is an 11-point difference from Joe Biden, okay? And then she hadn't even came out about the billionaire minimum tax. So unless someone in the chat makes over $100 million a year or makes $500,000 a year, then those taxes that she is actually want to pass will not affect you. Actually, it might help you because when she receives that money, she's going to take that money and she's going to put it in programs. Like, for instance, if you have a newborn child, you'll get a $6,000 tax credit. If you have children right now, we remember before COVID or after COVID, excuse me, we remember what Joe Biden did where he extended tax breaks for the people who have children. I think it was like, what, $400 a month or something, or you could get it back in taxes. Well, Harris wants to make that permanent. And the way she's able to do this is to tax people who make over $100 million a year, or on capital gains to tax people at $1 million a year. Okay. So it's 20%. She wants to raise it to 28%, and she wants to raise the income to $1 million a year. So if your household doesn't make $1 million a year, this won't affect you at all. So Mo Willis, how are you doing, brother? He said, what's wrong with lowering taxes? Mo, when you listen, Mo, I agree with you. You should lower taxes, but you only lower taxes on the people who are working, the working class people. Okay. When you raise taxes, or when you make billionaires pay their fair share of taxes, then you're generating income, you know what I'm saying, and for the government, and the government can take and use that income to help try to create jobs. They could build roads, they could build bridges, teachers could get a raise, police could get a raise. There's so much thing the government can do with that money. But Mo Willis, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. So Adventures of Dadman says, let's see. Stop worrying about other people's taxes. Vote for your own quality of life to increase. I agree with that 1,000%, brother. You know what I'm saying? But it's just part of voting for someone, your own quality of life to increase. I mean, you have to go over the economic policies of both candidates, don't you? You see what I'm saying? But thank you for that comment. Tim Richardson, how are you doing, brother? Thank you for joining the chat, my brother. Fighting the Evil says, hey, Kelly, National Park Tourism says, I feel 25 is taking freedom away. I agree with that completely. 10,000%. I think Project 2025 is not good for any American. That's just my belief. So Amber says, but she does, but she's not. She talking about not doing anything at all. Amber, could you expound on that, please, a little more? Ka says she is literally his vice president. She is his vice president. But although she is his vice president, she doesn't set the policy. Neither should she be responsible for setting policy. Listen, let's say if I'm your vice president, okay? So my job is to advise you. So he has more advisors in that room than his vice president. He probably has 10 to 20 advisors in that room on any given conversation. So he's sitting there arguing, trying to convince him on the policies he's going to make. So Harris, he has senior advisors that you guys probably don't even know of. So you can't blame the Biden's policies on Harris, man. They're two completely different people. She is his vice president, but she is not the president. That's just like we won't blame Trump's policies on Mike Pence. Mike Pence was never the president. So Sean King, how are you doing? Says Harris is such a robotic creature. She is always on script. Nothing is natural. Sean, that is a problem that VP Harris is going to have to overcome. But today is the 9th. So that means tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern on ABC, I believe, you could watch the presidential debate. And a lot of questions she will be asked, as well as the way that Donald Trump deals with her, is not going to be on script. So we're going to get to hear her speak off script tomorrow. But Sean, that's a good point. I agree with you 1,000%. And I would say if I was her, I would schedule at least 2 or 3 more interviews prior to election, solo interviews. So Emil says Trump 2024. Thank you for that. So Amber says, but she could be doing this right now. Why isn't she doing it right now? Amber, she is the vice president. So she does not make the policy. That's what I'm saying. This is the Biden administration. Biden is making the policy. Biden wanted to raise capital gain taxes from 20% to 39.6%. Okay, that's what Biden wants to do. If you ask what Harris wants to do, Harris only wants to raise capital gain taxes from 20% to 28%. So there's an 11% difference between Biden's plan on capital gain taxes and Harris' plan on capital gain taxes. So that's what you guys got to understand. They're trying to tie her to Joe Biden, which I understand, and you guys could tie her to Joe Biden, but you cannot blame her for policies that Biden made when she's the vice president and Joe Biden is the president. This is the Biden administration. So the successes and failures of this administration, you lay them at Joe Biden's feet. So Denalot says, Democrat, no, that's not true, sir. I'm actually an independent. You know what I'm saying? So Simone K says, as an advocate for wrongfully convicted, I truly pray Trump and RFK come together and stop this war on drugs, get people help, stop making money off prisoners. Simone, that's been going on for so long, man. They've been making money off prisoners. Like, you know what I'm saying? How the government, especially the war on drugs, you guys remember that back in, what is that, the 80s? You know what I'm saying? Extending into the 90s. The way the government wanted to deal with people with drug problems, they wanted to put them in jail. You see what I'm saying? Someone who had, as an ex-drug addict, I know people who have drug problems, man, you don't put them in jail. You see what I'm saying? They need different help besides that. But I think in larger terms, the government is coming to a realization on a lot of those things. Tim says, dude, you got to focus on what she has actually done, which is nothing. Hey, Tim, bro, you know she's the vice president. Vice presidents are supposed to do nothing. You name me vice presidents that do something. You know what I'm saying? Dick Cheney had a very, very imposing presence as vice president. He's one of the last. And like, what I wanted to ask you guys this, not to skip topics, but what you guys think about Dick Cheney coming out and endorsing VP Harris for president? If you guys don't know, Dick Cheney was a former vice president for George H.W. Bush. That was the president preceding Barack Obama. You know what I'm saying? He's ultra conservative. He's from Wyoming, a super, super red state. So guys, would you please tell me, what do you guys think about VP Harris being endorsed by Dick Cheney? You guys jump in the comments. I'm trying to read all you guys' comments. We got 150 people in here, guys, so y'all bear with me. If y'all don't mind, would y'all please like the video? And if you like the content, I ask you guys to hit the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Hit the notification bell. Man, like, just, you know, Monday through Friday, for the most part, most of these people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we always have these conversations, just having a conversation, group of American voters, just having a conversation. What you guys think about the election? This morning, we talking capital gains taxes. So as you guys come in, please jump down in the comments and I'll try to read you guys' comments and we're going to see what you guys think. So Tim says she hasn't done a blank thing. Tim, again, she's vice president, brother. Simon says, I don't think he's so much as distancing himself as much as simply unfamiliar with it, but disagree. He's an easy influence. Simone, I agree, like, with you, but you say you disagree. He's an easy influence. Simone, I'll say this. As far as the government influencing Donald Trump, I would say that he isn't an easy influence, you know what I'm saying, as far as the government influencing him. But as far as other Republicans influencing him, I think that he is easily influenced. But I mean, that's really not a bad thing. I mean, that's your party. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Democrats are going to influence Harris too once she becomes president, if she becomes president. The Democrats has influenced Joe Biden. But I'm saying, I believe that, I believe, like, for instance, Steve Bannon. I think Steve Bannon was the reason why a lot of those conservative policies were implemented under Trump. I think he was pushing Trump towards to the right. If you allow me to say, I don't think Trump is as conservative as he comes across. You know what I'm saying? I just think that is the Republican Party and his advisors that are actually pushing him to the right. So that's what I mean by that. Simon K, that was a excellent comment. I appreciate that so much, Simone K. I'm sorry. So Sharon says that's why we have Kennedy, Elon, I'm not sure what you mean about Kennedy, Elon, and Vivek. Oh, you mean that's why they're with Trump? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I would say for yeah, well, yeah, Kennedy and Elon, they're probably not as like right wing as other people. So having people in his ear that isn't so ultra conservative, I think that'll create more balance. So James says actually most of the P25 people are former Democrats. Oh, really? And James, if you will, could you provide proof of that? So Amber says, right, Tim, and she could be actually doing the things she's talking about doing. She ain't doing nothing though. How could she get behind someone? How could we get behind someone like that? I keep telling you guys that VP Harris, she is not the president currently. She's just the vice president. So she's like any other regular candidate that's running for president. Okay. She cannot set policy. She only is supposed to support Joe Biden. Insidious. Oh, Tim says, I know former Dems. Tim, I know some former Dems too. Insidious Blue says, I'm in school. Most of us can't afford private schools. Yeah, so Insidious, would you expound on that, please, so I could talk about that? So Tim says that's the best part. Tim, actually, what is the best part? You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure about what you're saying, but you guys, we're talking capital gains taxes. So do you guys not think that the government should impose a billionaire minimum tax on people who make over $100 million? Or you don't think that the government should increase the capital gains tax from 20% where it's at to 28%? Only for people who make over $1 million. And like I said before at the top of the stream, Project 2025 and Project 2025, what they're actually trying to do is Donald Trump says he's going to lower the capital gain tax to 15%. And I think that's a huge mistake. So I'm jumping back down in the comments. Nobody says, okay. T. Lee says, okay. So Ashley B says rent increases. So Ashley B, would you explain that, please? Because I've went over Kamala's plan, and she actually has things in her economic plan to attack people who attempt to raise rent, to attack people who attempt to price gouge in the grocery stores. Kelly Quinn says, Dick Cheney represents the Republicans party that I used to know. Kelly, I agree with that 1,000%. I think George H.W. Bush was the last of that Republican party. I think it has become the party of Trump now. So Tim says, totally irrelevant. Amber says, but most VP do. Not Kamala, but most VP do. Amber, could you tell me a policy that a vice president, before this administration, could you tell me a policy that they set before? You know what I'm saying? So his lady D says, sir, respectfully, you're not okay. That's great. So Rasta says a lot of people don't know what the vice president does. The vice president doesn't have a major role. You know what I'm saying, Rasta? What the vice president does is advise and support the president. And God forbid, in case somebody happens, they're going to step in their shoes. So Amber says vice president actually can and do a lot while they're in office. Like I said, Amber, please provide me a major policy decision that a vice president has made. Please, what major policy decision did Mike Pence make? What major policy decision did Dick Cheney make? You know what I'm saying? You want me to keep going back? What major policy decision did Joe Biden make as Obama's vice president? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, guys. Could you please tell me some major policy decisions that these vice presidents are making? Because a vice president's role is to support the president. His lady D says Dick is a war criminal. I'm saying, how is Dick Cheney a war criminal? And if he was a war criminal, wouldn't he be locked up? So Tim Richardson says she can influence the border. Tim, she can influence the border. That is true. But she cannot make policies. I don't believe it was Joe Biden's. I think Joe Biden is a lot more liberal than Harris is. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? We look at Joe Biden as a moderate, middle of the road candidate, But when he got in the White House, we see what he did on immigration. We see Joe Biden wants to raise the capital gain tax to 40%. VP Harris wants to raise it to 28%. So I don't think they're actually the same on a lot of issues. You see what I'm saying? So I'm still saying what you guys said. Amber says, but she could though, right, Amber? So Scott says, what is your stance on Harris wanting to take away the Second Amendment? Like, what proof that you have that she wants to take away the Second Amendment? You see what I'm saying? Like, could you? I just want to know, like, what proof that you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want the proof. So Reginald Owens, how you doing, brother? He says, in dictators like Putin, Reginald, that's the thing I think that most Americans have, like with Donald Trump, like the unease I would say they have with ex-President Trump, is how he likes dictators, and he says things that, you know, sometimes seems like he is a dictator. You know what I'm saying? So T. Lee says, okay. So Simone says, I'd rather have less influence in political party and more people's party. I agree with that 1,000%. But here's the thing. That's just something that doesn't seem like it's feasible at this moment. You know what I'm saying? The two candidates that we have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the People's Party with RFK, but we see how it turned out. Man, for hundreds of years, you know, the Republicans and the Democrats have been the two primary parties. So until we can change that, or we can get a candidate who could win from running in the middle, you know what I'm saying, or making a new party, you know what I'm saying, because they've tried to make new parties like a lot, bro, and it's just never panned out to be anything. Digital Warrior says day one, she was almost 4 years ago. Yeah, day one for her being a vice president was almost 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But that's her as a vice president. I mean, you guys, she listen, the president can delegate her to do anything he wanted to. That's where we get that border czar from. You see what I'm saying? But when he dedicated her to be a border czar or whatever like that, he didn't get like she was doing like a study, or she was doing like a research. He didn't say, okay, VP Harris, I'm gonna let you make all the policy on the border. You know what I'm saying? That's not how that worked. That's not how that happened. She was just doing research, heading up the research to come back and advise him. You see what I'm saying? So Tim says the devil is guiding her. I hear you, brother Tim. Let's see. Who else? I'm trying to get all of you guys. So David Patrick says she said it. Samuel Smith says she says it. I'm not sure what you guys talking about. If you guys will, like, y'all might have a conversation between yourself. But if you guys want me to read your comment to the whole chat, I will. When you guys post a comment, please be more descriptive so I can respond to it. M.Y. the Great says she is the border czar. She was appointed to do researches on why migrants kept coming to the border. She was never given power to make policy, because Biden would have had to give her the authority to make policy, and I don't see no evidence of that ever happening. So Tim says, okay, Digital Warrior. James says she couldn't. Andrew says Halliburton. Andrew, just expound on it, brother. You see what I'm saying? If you guys like, I'm not defending Kamala on anything. So excuse me, if you guys got something that you really want me to cover, just expound on it. So let's see. Amber says, I don't care what other vice president did. I'm talking about the one we have right now. Digital Warrior says vice president usually make foreign policies. That is not true. You know what I'm saying? It's the Biden administration. It's the Biden policy. If Biden delegates that to her, for her to do, you see what I'm saying? That's on Biden, but it is Biden administration. Biden is responsible for everything that is going on in America as far as the policies that the White House can make. It is the Biden administration. You don't blame that on the Secretary of State. You can't blame that on the general. It's the Biden administration. This is his administration. He's calling the shots. So let's keep going. Matt A says, well, what she did do as vice president, she was the decide vote to put tax on tips. Well, if she was the decide and vote to put tax on tips, we see where she stands on that right now. Mark Johnson says Dick Cheney helped invade Iraq. I'm saying, man, like, but it's not Dick Cheney's, like, that's what you don't understand. George Bush calling the shots. That was his choice. So if Dick Cheney was influencing George Bush to do it, then George Bush has the final decision. The president has the final decision on decisions on his desk. Okay, we got to take accountability for the actions. And that's what I'm saying, guys. We're talking about tax policies this morning. Okay, we're talking about capital gains taxes. We're talking about billionaire minimum taxes. Joe Biden wants to keep the capital gain taxes, like the amounts, right where they at. I think it's like $580,000 a year. Then you have to you have to pay 20% of whenever you sell an asset. Joe Biden wants to raise that to 39.6%. So Joe Biden actually wants to double the capital gain tax. Kamala says no. I only want to make capital gain tax 28%. So that's only 8% more than Donald Trump. And the high earners that have to pay isn't $580,000, it's $1 million a household. So if you don't make $1 million, if you're in this chat and your household doesn't make $1 million, you see what I'm saying? Then you guys will not be affected by Kamala Harris tax plan at all. The increase of taxes, if she's able to get the legislation and get it passed. So David Rogers says she'll promise you the world and give you nothing. Maybe that's possible, but that's the risk that we run on every single politician. So Amber says she's talking about what she can do and what she will do, but she could actually be doing it now. I think we went over this before. So I'm gonna scroll back down, bro. I try to get everybody's comment. Everybody has a voice. 165 people in the room right now. American voters, I want all you guys to jump in the comments this morning. It's Monday morning, debates tomorrow, powering through it. So we're gonna talk about it. So let's see. This is Nubilas Nectar. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I don't know how y'all missed what Biden was doing. His campaign played right into every issue going on. Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ, etc. played all. I think that's the Democrats in general, Nebulous. I just believe that's just basically just Democrats. Like, I think Democrats support those social type of movements. You know what I'm saying? So Biden's going to be on board with what the Democrats support. So let's see. Tim says she wants to take our guns. She wants to take our guns. Tim, I'm saying, listen, so with that school shooting in Georgia, you don't think that we need any sort of reform on guns. I've covered this before, guys. Like, I think guns should be a state issue. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong, okay? And I'll give you the logic behind it. I think guns is a state issue. I think the problems that you have in Fifth Ward, okay, I'm in Houston, in the city center of Houston, those problems are going to be different than what you would have way north of Houston. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's different. Like if you live somewhere like to where you're like a mile away from your nearest neighbor, it might take the police an hour to get there. So those kind of people do need guns. You see what I'm saying? But like in the cities, though, where people aren't really using guns for hunting, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these weapons. So like saying that like she wants to take guns away, I haven't heard that. I don't even know if she's given the policy on that. But like me personally, I think that, you know what I'm saying, the gun issue should be a state issue. And I think that every community should decide and does know whether or not that they should allow certain weapons. I don't think that you should take away all guns, but I definitely think, I'm saying, like, what do you need an AR-15 in the middle of the south side of Chicago? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't see how it makes sense. Now, if you're in Illinois somewhere and you live in the woods, that might be totally different. You see what I'm saying? So, like the gun issue, I don't think it should be a blanket policy across all of America because every community is different. Tim, that's just my opinion. I haven't heard VP Harris's stance on gun yet. Samuel Smith says, I can't even see Harris dealing with world leaders. I don't see why you say that, Samuel. You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't she deal with world leaders? As VP Harris, as the Attorney General of California, she dealt with the most vile and some of the most vile and worst criminals in America. And you know what they said after she finished dealing with them? They said she was too tough. She's too strong. She put too many black men in jail. You see what I'm saying? So saying that she couldn't deal with a world leader, it's not like she have to get out there with gloves and fight Putin herself. She's not going to have to do that. So just setting policy, like, I mean, in my opinion, that's like saying that a woman can't do a man's job. You see what I'm saying? When most women can do men's job better than they can, besides the jobs that are actually physical. But just saying that a woman's not capable of doing really what is an administrative job, being a president is really an administrative job. So saying, or like running a business. So saying a woman can't run America, like, which is basically a business, you see what I'm saying? Like, I think that you're wrong, actually, Samuel. That's just my opinion. So let's see. ARUNPRASATH says, get up and salute me. I won't get up, but I will salute you, brother. How you doing? Good morning. Thank you for joining the League Wars podcast, The Test Run. Sharon says, Trump seems like a strong leader. Yes, he does. He seems like a very strong leader. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the thing that attracts people to him. Seems like he stands on business. The only problem is that how strong of a leader he wants to be. And I think that that's what the American people are afraid of. Tim says, I love you guys and gals. Love you too, Tim. Thank you for joining the chat. Kim Smith says, it's what our media and government don't tell you. Well, Kim Smith, will you please tell us what our media and government don't tell us? If you don't mind, put it in the chat. I'll read it. We can have a conversation about it. Samuel Smith says RFK backs Trump. He does back Trump, but I'm not sure. Like, RFK is backing Trump. He's doing that mostly for, you know what I'm saying, to get a job. You know what I'm saying? He went to the Dems to get a job. They didn't respond to him. So then he went to Trump. So I'm not sure about how, like, you know what I'm saying, how we can take that. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Nebulous Nectar says, digital warrior. Nah, I don't see Harris backing down. I don't see Harris backing down either. She's an attorney general, bro. She's a litigator. You know what I'm saying? When you go hire a lawyer, or you going to hire a lawyer who's going to run from an argument, I ain't never running from no argument. I'm a litigator, bro. You understand me? And I'm not even an attorney. I'm a paralegal. I will never run from no argument. That's what we do. We're going to argue that point to the bitter end. And so I know that, like, about a litigator, she wasn't just a litigator. She in California. And then she becomes attorney general. So she the top cop. I don't see her backing down for nothing. That's just my personal opinion. So GUILLERMINA, Gullermina, says Kamala and Tim 2024, vote blue, baby. How you doing? Welcome to the League Wars podcast. If you like the podcast, go ahead and hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. So let's see. James Thehan says, two-party system is consistent, but not the parties themselves. James, in my personal opinion, the two-party system is consistent, but I think like 4 or 5 parties would be better. I really do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my personal opinion, but we do have a two-party system. And I would say, in my opinion, the parties are fairly consistent. You know what I'm saying? You know what they stand for. So Tim says RFK loves Trump. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I guess if you say so. You know, if you're going to give me a job, like, and I'm trying to get a job in government, and you're going to give me a good job, I would love you too. You see? I'm just saying, like, why wouldn't he behind Trump in the get-go? You know what I'm saying? So Samuel Smith says she's a crappy vice president. Samuel, we've heard that before. You know what I'm saying? We heard that about VP Harris. I'm not sure how we're going to judge, like, the job that she's done as vice president. I'm saying, how would you judge that? You know what I'm saying? So Bill Sorrells says, if we can't believe what politicians promise, why don't we support the ones who agree the government is not a solution? Bill, that is easier said than done. You know what I'm saying? That would be like you're going to a major business. Let's just say what major? You want to go to Apple. You see what I'm saying? And you want to get rid us as workers, we want to get rid of the power structure in Apple. You see what I'm saying? These people are paying our paychecks, they're providing us jobs. You know what I'm saying? Even though it is we the people, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just easier said than done, man. We can't just think that we're going to just scrap the government away. I think that's the problem. Bill, that's a very good point. Bill, and please, would you tell me, what are you voting for, Trump, or are you voting for Harris? But Bill, that is a very, very good point, because I think that's what the Republicans are saying, to scrap the government. But that's scary for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Especially the way that Trump is going about doing it. You know what I'm saying? We just want to drain the swamp. You know what I'm saying? That sounds good if you're able to pull that out, but pull that off. But doing it with chaos, you know what I'm saying, and running up on Capitol Hill on January the 6th, that's not, I don't believe that's the way that, you know what I'm saying, we need to bring about change. But you know what I'm saying, if he's like some kind of revolutionary, I just, over the years, I don't see how anyone like beats the U.S. government. I just don't see that. In America, I don't see you beating the government. The Black Panthers, there's been so many movements that have arisen and tried to like revolutionize, but it just never works, man. Our government is just way too strong. So David Rogers, who says, well, what's Trump have the most experience running a business? He did, David. But I went over it like in 2019 when Donald Trump was president. He added less jobs to the economy, less than 2 million jobs to the economy. That was the first time that's happened since 2010. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, just saying because he run a business, like that he would be like better on the economy. Now, don't get me wrong. If you go ask Americans are good. Most Americans will vote for him. If the only issue that we had to vote about was the economy, then Trump's gonna win that economy in a landslide. You see what I'm saying? But just saying that, like, just because he owned a business or he ran a business, you know what I'm saying? Just saying that he is worthy to become president, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm not too sure about that, sir. That's just my opinion. That's your opinion. Thank you for your opinion too. Who was that? That was David Rogers. Thank you for your opinion, David. So Kim Smith says, exactly, that's just your opinion. Yes, indeed, Kim, this is my opinion. You know what I'm saying? About 10 minutes, we talking capital gains taxes. You know what I'm saying? The top of the hour on the stream, you know what I'm saying? I go over like facts, but like right now, this is definitely just my opinion. So Ron B says, how about the thousands of Americans she put in prison for pot charges? Ron B, that's the law of the land. You see what I'm saying? So Ron, what about the thousands of Americans the police put in jail for pot charges? What about, like, I'm saying, like, that's the law of the land, man. At the time, it was the law of the land. So that's her job. She put her hand on the Bible and she took an oath to swear and defend the laws of the state of California. So that's her job. She's gonna just whatever the law of the land was at that time. You know what I'm saying? If she was the AG right now, the attorney general in California ain't locking nobody up for marijuana right now. But I mean, at that time, that was the law of the land. So I mean, she just did, like, she just followed the law. That's what you would want her to do. Okie doke says, my whole problem with that is she's already had 4 years to do the job in which she has failed. Okie doke, that's a Republican talking point. She is a vice president. She has not had 4 years to do the job. She had 4 years to advise Joe Biden. Let me tell y'all something. You guys might not know this story, but bro, they were pushing Joe Biden out of that race from 15 sides. Seeing him fall down the steps of Air Force One, seeing that debate against Trump, they were already pushing him before the debate against Trump, okay? So seeing all that stuff, they're pushing Joe Biden from every side to get out the race. You guys agree or disagree? Look how long it took him to get out the race. So you got to know Joe Biden as a person to say how much influence that VP Harris actually had on Biden. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Biden ain't just like he's looking at Harris like Harris is 20 years younger than him. Biden been serving in DC probably for as long as anybody up there. So just thinking that she's going to come give him some policy advice and he's just going to listen to her, that's disingenuous. Like, you got to get somebody who was in the room when those decisions were being made. You see what I'm saying? Because this is Biden administration, bro. Biden is in charge of making those decisions. So unless you have some proof that shows that Harris was actually the president instead of Biden, Biden's just like a dummy president or a ghost president or something. If you don't have proof of that, then I'm saying, like, well, you know what I'm saying? So Ellen Frank, I don't think I've read one of your comments. She said, Black innocent men that's already served time. She extended time up to 2 years. I'm saying, like, if you want to say that, Ellen, you know what I'm saying? But that comes in the job of being a prosecutor. You know what I'm saying? They put people in jail. That's their job. It's not a pretty job. It could be an ugly job, but that's just their job. So saying she locked up, who cares what color man that she was locking up? She probably locked up a bunch of white men too. She probably locked up a bunch of Hispanics too. You see what I'm saying? It don't matter what color of people she locking up. If she's the attorney general, you know, like, you people who aren't law people, you guys don't understand that, okay? I'm a litigator. I understand that. As a litigator, bro, I respect the law. So I'm going to follow the law. I love the law. As an attorney general, that's her job, is the law. You got to have a certain amount of affection for the law to be a good litigator. And so she was a litigator, bro, so she had to obey the law. And if the law says that marijuana possession is illegal and the police are coming to her saying, hey, we caught these people with weed, I'm saying, what's she supposed to do? That was the law of the land at the time. You feel what I'm saying? And in my opinion, it doesn't matter what color they were. She was putting people in jail. I mean, that's just her doing her job. So I see Kelly says just done 1212. Let me see what you guys are saying. So not applicable, say I agree as they should. Some people, these names that they have. So E3, I hear you talking. Tony LaCourcero, LOCICERO, sorry for butchering your name, sir, says she was the border czar. Look at the border. That's a Republican talking point, Tony. That's all I'm saying, man. We just keep repeating Republican talking points. You see what I'm saying? Like, the Republic, listen, when she first got in the race, I think it was Mike Johnson. I'm not picking on Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. I think Mike Johnson, Kelly, where are you at? Like, Mike Johnson is one of those moderate old Republicans. I love Mike Johnson. So I'm not picking on Mike Johnson, but I think I heard Mike Johnson and somebody else, maybe Tim Scott, another Republican, they were having a press conference and they were talking about her being a border czar. But I'm saying that hadn't caught no steam. I don't think the American people care about that. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing about talking about Donald Trump like sexually harassing women 20 years ago. The American people don't care about that. So you keep talking about that. That's not moving the needle in the election. And saying that Harris was a border czar is not moving the needle in the election. You see what I'm saying? So if you want to talk about Harris, I think it would serve better for Republicans to talk about her forward-leaning policies. If she says when she becomes commander-in-chief, year one, VP Harris, what are your policies on, what's your foreign policy? You know what I'm saying? And because she hasn't done that interview, you see what I'm saying? Because she hasn't done an interview, you know what I'm saying, in tomorrow's debate, those questions will be asked. And Donald Trump will have an opportunity to press her. The moderators will have an opportunity to press her because a lot of her policy, we haven't heard it from her yet. So just to say, okay, well, she served with Biden, so she's going to do A, B, or C, man, we don't really know that. We're not sure of that. So to actually say that, man, I'm not too sure about that. Let's see. So David says, I think they sent you a check since the last time I heard you live. You weren't this strong on Harris before. David Patrick, I appreciate your comment, but we're talking about the capital gain tax, okay? So every time I pick a discussion, it's focused or leaning on one candidate. You see what I'm saying? So this live is leaning, this was viewers' choice. People just like you jumping in the chat. The chat was ending one day. I told them to give me a topic. And one of the topic they were talking about capital gain taxes. If I hadn't read your comment yet, guys, I'm sorry. If you guys stay in the stream, I definitely will read your comment. So we have a bunch of American voters right now, about 140 in here, and we're just having a conversation about the election. So I want to give y'all the differences. We want to compare and contrast the two capital gain tax plans between VP Harris and former President Trump. Okay, so here is the tax plans. Currently, the capital gains rate is at 20%. Okay, so single filers with a taxable income of $47,025 or less, this only affects them. Joint filers with the income of $94,050 or less, or heads of households that make $63,000 or less. Right now, the tax rate is at 20%. Okay. On the capital gain taxes, if you don't know, it's just a tax on your assets. Okay. So right now it's at 20%. So VP Harris is following the advice of the Tax Policy Center. You guys can look this up. The Treasury Department and the Congressional Joint Committee on Taxation, who says that imply that revenue from taxing long-term capital gains is maximized when the tax rate is set at 28%. So VP Harris on capital gain taxes, okay, she want to raise the rate from 20% to 28%. Now, all you guys who are trying to say like she's like Joe Biden currently, okay, he hasn't been able to pass this, but he currently wants to raise the capital gain tax from 20% to 39.6%. So if it was up to Joe Biden, capital gain taxes would be at 40% right now. But VP Harris only wants to raise it to 28%. That's what I'm telling you guys. You guys just automatically assuming that she's Joe Biden 2.0. You don't have no proof of that. That's what I'm saying. You got to provide the proof, okay? Because her economic plan isn't the same as Joe Biden. Okay, let me say this too. If you guys make less than $1 million a year, then the capital gain tax won't affect you at all. So you could sell your house, you could sell your boat, you could sell your stocks, you could sell whatever. And if you make less than $1 million a year, she wants to raise it. Right now, I think the cap is like at $583,000. You know what I'm saying? I think that's for two people. It's $518,000 for a single person, and head of household is $551,000. We talking about capital gain taxes, okay? VP Harris want to raise those numbers to $1 million. So this basically the question. If you're a millionaire and you're finna sell this house and you're finna make a $500,000 profit, you see what I'm saying? 28% tax. It's just the question we should be asking is, what are you going to do with the money? Okay. Donald Trump wants to decrease the capital gains taxes to 15%. Okay. So that's taking a lot of money from the federal government. We have to understand that. You giving ultra rich people tax breaks is taking money from the federal government that they could be using for other programs. That's the conversation today. Capital gain taxes. Who has the best plan? Does VP Harris has the best plan on taxes and the economy, or does Donald Trump? Another thing I want to go over too is that billionaire minimum taxes. So for households with a net worth of over $100 million, we have 188 people in the stream right now. How many of us make $100 million? So if none of us make $100 million, it's like she's talking to somebody else. She's not talking to us. This won't affect us. But for billionaires, right, or people who make over $100 million, what Joe Biden proposed was a tax rate would be at least 25%, a notable increase for the wealthiest taxpayers, who right now reportedly pay an average tax rate of about 8.2%. Okay, so that's the question, guys, for today's stream. We're talking capital gain taxes. We're talking economic plans between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. So you guys get in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think about taxes. What y'all think about taxing the billionaire? I heard somebody earlier in the stream says, yeah, that's cool. But just tell us what you're going to do with the money. Okay. So let's just say, I think I seen estimates at like $280 billion in 10 years only on the capital gain tax increase. And I'm not sure about the billionaire minimum tax. I imagine that would be larger. But I'm saying, what are you going to do with the money? But I agree with the wealthiest Americans paying more money. I just agree with that. In my opinion, that makes more sense. If you have $100 million, okay, if you make over $100 million, you just pay a little bit more in taxes. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to kill you. If you make over $1 million a year, and let's just say you then made like $400,000 in the stock market, you get taxed 28% on that. That's all I'm saying. I just don't see what the big deal is about that. Let me get back down in y'all comments, guys. I encourage everybody in here to continue to comment. I'm going to try to read all of you guys' comment. I'm looking for people I hadn't seen in here yet. Okay, most of you guys have been in here. So Sean King says they're basically the same. Stop the cap. How can you say that, Sean? Like, I'm saying, like, so Sean, would you agree that VP Harris is in that spot because Joe Biden backed out, right? If Joe Biden would have never backed out, VP Harris would have never gotten that spot. So that being said, I think she doesn't want to all the way break with Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying his policy says that he wants to raise the capital gains tax to 39.6%. She wants to raise it to 28%. That's only 8 points better than Donald Trump. And she's following advice from strong economic minds who says, listen, if Joe Biden say he wants to raise the capital gain tax to 40%, you know them rich people who have houses and all these different things that they want to sell and move around, you know what they're going to do? They're going to sit on it. They're not going to sell it. Why am I going to sell my house and I got to pay 40% tax on it? It's 20% right now. You know, if you make over a certain amount of money, that is capital gain. But it's 20% right now. So why am I gonna sell my asset if I gotta pay a 40%? I'm gonna sit on it. But her advisors told her, you know what I'm saying? I want to get this 1,000% correct. The Tax Policy Center, the U.S. Treasury Department, and the Congressional Joint Committee on Taxation. You guys hear that? The Congressional Joint Committee on Taxation. So that's the Republican and the Democrat, okay? They said that the best tax rate to maximize it is 28%, not 40%, not 20%, 28%. They have better economic minds than we do. You see what I'm saying? I guess 28% isn't enough to scare someone to not sell an asset that they want to move. It's not that much of a difference, that big of a difference from 20%. But Joe Biden wanted to raise it to 40%, and they're saying that the government wouldn't have received as much money because people wouldn't sell the assets. They'll just sit on them. Does that make sense? Okay, so Tim says he was forced out. CIA. Tim, you're going to have to provide proof of that. I'm not saying that he was forced out by the government per se, but I think people in his own party, the party leaders, like Barack Obama and like Nancy Pelosi, I think they looked at something and they were just like, there's no way. Listen, after that assassination attempt on Donald Trump, and he's walking off the stage with his hand in the air. Y'all remember that? The man got blood coming down his face. He's saying, fight, fight, fight. He's sitting there looking like a gladiator. Bro, he was going to beat Joe Biden by 10 points. You see what I'm saying? So I think the Democrats saw that. And so I don't think they necessarily forced him out. Well, yeah, pretty much. The Democrats forced him out. But Tim saying the CIA forced him out, I don't have no evidence or proof that the government did it. But I do believe the Democrats forced him out. You know what I'm saying? I think they dried up his money. They stopped donating to his campaign. And his advisors started telling him, bro, like, Because can you imagine Joe Biden being president at 85? He would have to serve 4 more years. So if he 81 right now, this time 4 years from now, he'll be 85 years old. Can you see him in 4 years? He could be president in 4 years, man. We all know that in here. So that decision to me, it was probably a tough one, but it was the best one. Or just let him stay in that spot and they would have lost the election because Trump was going to beat Joe Biden this time. 1,000% he was going to beat him walking away. So the Democrats making that decision, in my opinion, that's a wise decision. You see what I'm saying? They might not have made that decision running against a different candidate, but they made it against Donald Trump because they probably feel like Donald Trump is really a threat to democracy. So SBAXZA, I've never seen you in here. SBAXZA, how are you doing? Says tax the rich, make prices reflect inflation, not corporate greed. I'm not sure what you mean by that. David says, hub. So Glenn says, and DEI. No, she is not no DEI, brother. She's really not. Glenn, tell me the other candidates that were running for president with Harris and Biden, okay? So you saying she's a DEI. There's a pool of candidates, probably. It's more than candidates, it's governors and stuff. So Biden picking from a pool. So saying she's a DEI is basically saying she's not qualified. The woman has a law license. She's been a litigator her whole life. She's been an attorney general and she's been a senator. And the attorney general and the senator, she won though. Those are elected positions that she won. So how can you honestly say that she's a DEI? How can you say that she's not qualified? You feel what I'm saying? I mean, I just don't understand where you guys get that from. So Jacob Maddow says, without a doubt. David Parker says taxed on already taxed money. That's all no biggie. But David, these are for people who make over $1 million a year. You see what I'm saying? So David, my question is, do you make $1 million a year? If you don't make $1 million a year, this won't apply to you. You see what I'm saying? So you could go ahead and, sell your stocks, buy your stocks. You ain't getting no tax. You don't make $1 million a year. But if you make $1 million a year, how the government's looking at it, and you put your hands on $200,000 extra, then we're going to take 28% of that, and we're just going to go over here and we're going to help somebody who don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all might look at that as some kind of socialism or however y'all look at that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, who's helping the homeless people? Who's helping that single mother who got 3 kids who lost her job and she's struggling trying to make it? She not looking for a handout. She looking for a hand up. She just wants somebody to help her stand on her feet. You know what I'm saying? Momentarily, and then she going to be back working, back trying to get it. Who's helping these people? Who's helping the old people falling between the cracks? You see what I'm saying? Who's helping the disabled people? I'm saying, who's helping these people? That's what I'm saying. Who are we going to listen, I'm going to take a second with you guys, okay? Who are we counting on to help the poor? Because all of you guys, who most of y'all in this chat, I would automatically assume are not millionaires. It's probably a few of you in here that are, but the majority of Americans, I would automatically assume are not millionaires. If they were, then the per capita income would be like, what is it, 60-some thousand dollars? So I'm saying, who's helping the poor? Who are you going to depend on to help the poor? Because most of these tax cuts or most of these capital gain taxes are probably going to come from businesses. So I'm saying, are you dependent on Apple to help? Bro, listen, San Francisco, I'm not hating on San Francisco. If I got to live in California, I'm going to San Fran. It's the furthest south. It's probably the furthest south I go, unless I was in San Diego. I'm San Francisco or north of San Francisco. So I got a question for you, okay? So you go to San Francisco, right? I'm talking about pre-COVID. All of the businesses, they're there, okay? We talking about pre-COVID. We talking about Tesla. We talking about what? Apple. Like every major business almost has headquarters in San Francisco. Y'all see how many poor people are in San Francisco? Y'all see how many homeless people are in San Francisco? Indeed isn't going to go help them. Like no one's going to go help them. So I'm saying, what's wrong with building 3 million homes for homeless people? What's wrong with taking money from a billionaire or taxing a billionaire? Because if those rich people wanted to go out and help the poor, they could help the poor. They're not helping the poor. So what's wrong with getting a little extra money? We know you're not going to help them, Mr. Rich Guy. But Mr. Rich Guy, you got 200 million and you just made 200 million. So all we're going to do is take like what? What's 28% of 200 million? About 56. So we're going to take that $56 million from you. You already got 200 million, bro. You just made another 200 million. So you up 400 million. So we're going to take out the 200 million you just made. We're going to take 56 million from you. We're going to give cops a raise. We're going to give our teachers a raise. We're going to help improve our roads and bridges. And we're going to feed the poor people. I'm saying, what's wrong with that? I don't understand that. What's wrong with that? Y'all tell me though. I'm looking at you guys' comments. So let's see. Let me jump down. I'm going to try to see people I hadn't seen. So Kelly Quinn said, whether you're just viewing or join the chat, remember to get a thumbs up. Kelly, I appreciate you, baby girl. Thank you, Miss Kelly. Thumbs up for the channel. It's one of the only safe places for y'all's opinions. Okay, let's see. Tim Richardson says it's socialism. Tim, a lot of people believe that. You see what I'm saying? But I wouldn't say it's necessarily socialism. You spreading the wealth. Tim, Tim, have you read Karl Marx? Like, you talking about like real socialism, okay? Like Chinese socialism. And Chinese socialism, bro, if you a doctor or if you a garbage collector, you all making the same amount of money. They're evenly splitting up the pot. So taking a little money from this rich guy, it's not like you bankrupting him. How you going to bankrupt a rich guy, Tim? You can't bankrupt this man. You can't do nothing with that man. Bro, you can make Jeff Bezos pay $20 million a year probably in taxes, and he probably not Amazon probably already paying that. Like I'm saying, you just get 8% more from him, and you imposing a billionaire tax on him, and you using the money to help provide more jobs and try to stimulate the economy and help Americans' lives be better. What I'm asking you guys, especially if you guys are Christian conservatives, okay? Because the most of the Christian conservatives believe in trickle-down economics. And that baffles me because when I read my Bible, Jesus tells us to feed the poor. Almost his whole ministry in the New Testament was feeding and healing, feeding and healing, feeding and healing. That's Jesus' whole ministry. Y'all tell me how I'm wrong. So what's wrong with feeding the poor? It don't make no sense. Dude, no one's trying to take all of their money from them. You got $200 million. Congratulations, my brother. I'm happy for you. But that $100 million that you just made, the government needs 28 million of that because we're going to go try to help some of these poor people out here. Who else going to do it? If the government don't help them, who you expect to do it? Who you expect to do it? You expect Jeff Bezos to do it? Jeff Bezos, he's just going to turn into Bill Gates. Oh, yeah, we finna start building this for poor people, and we're going to start giving this money to poor people. They're not going to do that, bro. You're not thinking about no poor people. That's what the government's job is. I don't care if y'all want to hear this or not. It might sound like socialism, but it's the truth. The government's job is to protect America. That's why we have the strongest military in the world. The government's job is to ensure that the streets of America are safe. That's why we have the police forces. The government's job when a pandemic comes is to help the Americans get a vaccine. The government's job is to fix these roads, fix these bridges. It's the government's job. That's their job. So why should they not feed poor people? Make it make sense. That's their job. Am I right or wrong? It's their job. Because we can't count on a billionaire to feed a poor person. That's not their job. People say, oh, they create all the jobs. Keep creating the jobs. But just like they create the jobs, when their bottom lines are affected, you know what they do? They cut the jobs. They'll cut the jobs for more money. So I'm saying that's a two-way street. They create jobs and they fire people too. You see what I'm saying? They create jobs and they take jobs. They're puppet masters. So what's wrong with like getting a little extra money to help the businesses? You see what I'm saying? But what we're not talking about is if you have a newborn baby, how you'll get a $6,000 tax credit. Take the money from them and give it to families with newborn babies, okay? What we not that's for any family, okay? What we're not talking about is how if you have any children at all, we could take the money from them and we could give the money to the women who have children. They're going to extend those tax breaks. You see what I'm saying? Post-COVID, what Joe Biden implemented. Harris wants to extend them. You see what I'm saying? What's wrong with that? Okay, we could take the money from them, and I'm gonna tell you, Tim, since Tim, you on that heavy machinery and you want to make money, Tim, let's say you say, hey man, I gotta work these long hours. I would rather be around my family more. You see what I'm saying? You want to start a business, but you're not sure. Well, Harris says, hey Tim, you could go start a business. I'm gonna give you a $50,000 tax break. What's wrong with that? She's not just taking the money and just handing it to poor people. She's giving it to working class people who are trying to live the American dream, want to live a better life. It's not all poor people she's helping. A lot of these policies are going to help us too. That's what I'm saying. So what's wrong with that? It's not like socialism for real. Like if you were in China or something and they'll take your money and keep it for the government. You see what I'm saying? Keep it within the government. I mean, they're dispersing the money back out. I'm saying, what's wrong with that? So, Mark, I see your comment. Rich Hoyle, Mark spits like, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. You didn't say nothing that was disrespectful, but that's just your opinion, bro. Like, I mean, you can have your opinion. Opinion with no facts is just your opinion. So Rich says they encourage it, not help it. I'm not sure what you mean. Seal says it's enabling. What is it enabling? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying SIL exclamation part S. What is it enabling? What are you enabling? If you helping a disabled person, you're enabling. So what you gonna do? I'm saying you can't be a Christian. You can't be a Christian because we've seen what Jesus did. Jesus was healing the sick. He was feeding the poor. So if you're saying you're a conservative Christian, where does that come? You ain't getting that from Jesus. You're not getting your trickle-down economics from Jesus. That's all I'm saying. Show me that in the Bible. It's not in the Bible. That's not what Jesus did. You're a Christian, and I'm only saying this, I'm not preaching, but I'm saying Donald Trump is leading her 40 points in the conservative Christian vote, okay? Evangelical Christian vote. He's leading her by 40 points. So all these Christian Republicans are supporting the Republican Party. But I'm saying, where you get that from? Because that's not what Jesus did. Jesus didn't say give more money to the rich people and hope they feed the poor. That's not what he said do. That's not what he was doing. He was feeding them and he was healing them. That's all I'm saying. So I don't understand where y'all are getting that from. So Tanya says, plenty of poor people in Arkansas. Okay. So Rusty said that's exactly the answer to the homeless problem. We need affordable housing and housing projects funded by the government. Okay. Because ain't nobody else gonna fix all those homeless people defecating on the streets, raping girls. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna fix that. Ain't no rich people. The only people who will have a chance of fixing it is the government. And usually the local governments ain't going to fix it. So it's usually the federal government who has to fix that. So what's wrong with her building 3 million more project houses to get some of these homeless people off the streets? What's wrong with that? Just please tell me. I'm confused, bro. I'm lost. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to figure it out. You're enabling them. Who you enabling? You feel what I'm saying? Who you enabling? A drug addict? Did she say she gonna give drug addicts like a drug addict fund a boost? No. You see what I'm saying? She's not saying that. She says she wants to help the working class. What's wrong with that? And look, 170 people in here right now, most of us are the working class. So she wants to help you. But because you have been, hold on, give me a second. This is some Kool-Aid right here. Because you have been drinking the Kool-Aid, then you want to give the money to old Jackleg. You want to give the money to old rich dude. Let you know what I'm saying, Bezos get more money. And you could get a $50,000 tax break to start a business. But you don't want the tax break to start no business. No, if you start a business, you know you're probably not going to pay $50,000. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of that money going to go in your pocket. In your pocket that you ain't got to pay. I mean, you might pay $10,000 to invest to start that business. So you probably going to put $40,000 in your pocket if you start a business. That's like a PPP loan. She's trying to stimulate the economy. But no, don't give the money to regular people. Just let all the rich people keep the money. Make it make sense, bro. I'm going to take all the money out of my pockets and give it back to the rich people. I'm going to take all the money that I could get out of my pockets and give it to the rich people. Make it make sense. You can't be talking about God because we start talking about God. That's not what Jesus did. That's not what he taught. That's not what he preached. That's why you go to all the churches and the churches are feeding people. Why you think they do that? Why you think churches give people clothes? Why you think the churches care? Where they get that from? That came from Jesus. So why should our government be any different? That don't make it make sense. That's all I'm asking y'all. I'm looking in the comments, guys. Make it make sense for me because it just don't make no sense. So thank you for that. Rusty, is that Rusty Shackelford? I hope you like the channel, man. I hope you subscribe and hit the notification bell. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for that, brother. I agree with that 1,000%. So Fortnite Stream says they tax the blank out of us too, bro. Tax everything. Can't even sell on eBay. That's a lie, though, Fortnite. If you talking about selling something on eBay, bro, we talking about capital gain taxes. Fortnite Streams. If you make over for a single person, $515,000 a year, so they're going to tax what you make. And right now, under Donald Trump's tax plan, it's only 20% of what you make. This Donald Trump's tax plan. So she's just raising it from 20 to 28%. What's wrong with that? And then I'm going to put a billionaire minimum tax. She hasn't came with that yet, but that's what Joe Biden proposed. So they pay about 8.5% in taxes right now. So let's raise it to 25 or 30%. Flood the government with money and deal with our problems. What's wrong with that? You're not going to bankrupt no rich person by them paying taxes. When have you seen a rich person go bankrupt by paying taxes? When have you seen that? From paying taxes. Some of you guys might be familiar with what happened with Wesley Snipes, but that was because he wasn't paying taxes. But I'm saying a regular rich person who file their taxes like they're supposed to, when have you seen any of them go bankrupt from paying taxes? They're not going to go bankrupt from paying taxes. John says, how do they have better economic minds? Which one are we talking about, Harris or Trump? They all waste money. That's all they do. Government is hella insufficient. I agree with that precisely. You see what I'm saying? Because all I'm saying, guys, this is my major point. Donald Trump added to the deficit almost $8 trillion. That's enough to give every American, we're not talking every household. We talking you got 5 in your house, you, your wife, your 3 kids, the whole household, every person in the household, every head. That's enough to give each one of them $23,000. He didn't give every American $1,500 and $600 or whatever in the stimulus, $2,000. Every American didn't get that. So I'm saying you got $8 trillion. Where'd the money go? Because it's spent. Let me see. I'm in Houston right now. Let me go out there and see the roads. It's the 4th largest city in America. So some of that money should have been spent here, right? Let me go see some roads and bridges that he built. You spent $8 trillion when you was president. What you spend the money on? Well, you didn't spend $8 trillion. You added $8 trillion to the deficit with your tax cuts. That was part of it. You know what I'm saying? With your job loss before COVID. We talk about before COVID. His job numbers in 2019. Go research it. He didn't hit 2 million jobs in 2019. So you spent $8 trillion. What you spent it on? Where'd the money go? That's what I'm saying. When you give them a tax cut, where'd the money go? Cause you giving them a tax cut? What? Like they're getting the money. That's what you don't understand. They're getting the money. That's not helping our economy. You see what I'm saying? If he does a whole 4 years, and if he lowers the tax rate to 15%, you guys are gonna see it, bro. That's trickle down economics don't work. So let me see. I got Dan Blackwood, I believe, says 87,000 new IRS agents to go after middle class under Democrats. Where's your proof of that? Please just put the link in the chat. Dan BLCKWD. Put that link in the chat. I just want to see that. Crystal says, bro, who is you? Okay. Tim says, how many trillions under? Hey, Tim, there ain't no proof of that, Tim. She's not president yet, so she could run as the incumbent. Y'all trying to act like Trump is an outsider. That man is the former president of the United States. He has secrets. If he loses this election, he going to have Secret Service with him the rest of his life. How is he an outsider? He's as much as a politician as any other politician. But she hadn't had the chance actually to be, you know what I'm saying, in the White House. JCM, I hadn't seen you in here. He said they're just going to leave the country if the rich leave the country. The rich ain't leaving the country. Where are they going to go? Where's a rich person going to go? What other country in the world you going to go to with the infrastructure that America has to make money? You going to go to the United Kingdom? Y'all want to look at the world's economies and how they rank? The state of California is the fourth richest economy in the world. I mean, out of all of the countries, we talking Japan, Russia, China, all of Europe, England, Italy, France, every country in the world, Brazil, any country you want to name, Mexico, Canada, Australia is actually a continent country. But any country you want to name, California's economy is the fourth largest in the world. So where are the rich people going to go? They don't have the structure in those countries to really generate wealth as much as they do in America. So the rich people going to leave. What rich people leaving? So Bill Gates been the richest man for the longest. Would you guys agree? I mean, there's other people on the list like Warren Buffett. Which one of those rich people ever left America? Which one of them ever? Which rich person have you ever seen because of an 8% increase in taxes has ever left America? Which one? These people are not going to leave America because of an 8% tax hike. That's not going to happen. You know what they're going to do? They're probably, if they don't want to pay the taxes, they'll just sit on it. Wait 4 years, try to get her out of office, put somebody else in that. Hopefully they'll lower the tax rate. And then when the tax rate is low, they'll sell their assets. Don't y'all do that in the housing market? You guys go to buy a house and somebody tell you, hey, wait, hold up, the interest rate's too high right now. Just wait a little while. So you're going to wait till the interest rates. They're not going to leave their country. I'm going to leave my country because I got to pay a higher tax rate. They might move the jobs overseas. You see what I'm saying? But leaving the country, I doubt that seriously. So let's see. Crystal, let me see. I see. So Kelly says, no matter what, I still believe we live in one of the most fabulous countries ever. Kelly, I agree with you 1,000. America the beautiful, the richest nation in the world, the strongest economy in the world, point blank, period. And ain't no rich person gonna leave America to go stay in anywhere because of a higher tax rate. Because you're gonna go to that other country. What you gonna go to Italy? Italy is beautiful, bruh. It is a beautiful country. But you cannot build Apple in Italy. You can't build Apple in Italy, bro. They don't have the infrastructure like America does to create that kind of wealth, bro. They will not leave America, I promise you. They are going to stay right here. They're going to hold those assets until those taxes come down low. That's all that's going to happen. So let's see. Both teams play hard, said nobody's leaving. I agree with you, bro. They're not leaving America. Richard says Kevin O'Leary. So you saying Kevin O'Leary left America? It's some people did. Russell Simmons left America. He's a rich record executive, but I don't think that necessarily has to do with because of taxes. They leave America from time to time, but I'm not sure it's because of taxes. So Corey says, if you think lower taxes don't help us, you're hopeless. Listen, Corey, she's not raising. Corey, if you raise, do you make $1 million a year, Corey? Corey, if you don't make $1 million a year, this doesn't apply to you. You see what I'm saying? $1 million a year. We didn't say if you was a millionaire. You can have $10 million in the bank and just be living off the interest of that money. Or you can have $10 million in the bank and make $500,000 a year. Listen to me, bro. Listen to me. You can have $10 million in the bank and be making $500,000 a year. Bro, you ultra rich, $500,000 a year. You got 10 million in the bank, set for life. This doesn't apply to you. It only applies to the ultra rich. If you make $1 million a year, or if you make $100 million a year, that's all this applied to. Why would she put a billionaire minimum tax? Listen, if you have nothing but Republicans in the White House and they're talking about lowering taxes, where are you going to generate the revenue from? Because you got to run the government. You see what I'm saying? You know how many cabinet positions there are in DC? You know who pays them? I'm saying like the military. Don't you got an army and a navy? You got a defense budget? Don't you have all these budgets? So nobody pay no taxes. We just going to let everybody just don't pay no taxes. So who going to keep America safe? I'm just wondering if nobody don't have to pay taxes. You see what I'm saying? Who gonna keep America? You can't. You could disband your military. You could disband. You ain't gonna be able to make no weapons. I'm saying you ain't gonna be able to repair no roads, no bridges. I'm saying if nobody don't pay no taxes, that's my question. If nobody isn't paying any taxes, then how do you fund the government? Y'all can answer that for me, okay? So if there should be taxes, then the tax rate should fluctuate. Rich people should pay more taxes. Richard, who is that said that? Let me see, Corey. Corey, since I'm hopeless, okay? This is my question to you, Mr. Corey. So is your question is that you want the rich people not to pay no taxes at all? Is that what you asking for? You see what I'm saying? Because if the rich people ain't paying no taxes, I'm saying, because Corey, you probably got a job to where you pay more than $700 a year in taxes. You probably pay $700 in a couple months in taxes. I've worked jobs where they took $700 in taxes out of one paycheck. This man made $400 million and pays $700 in taxes. $400 million. So he's taking food out of people's mouths. That's what he's doing. Because if the government don't get that money from him, Corey, they gonna come get it from you. You see what I'm saying, Corey? They gonna get it from me. They getting it from us. They gotta get that revenue from somewhere. That's what you don't understand. And see, what happened is Donald Trump said, hey, I ain't free taxes. Ain't nobody pay no taxes. We don't cut the tax rate to 20%. Oh, they getting a little bit of money. I guess that'll hold it up a little bit. But we're gonna put more money in your paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Your paycheck is 10% higher. We not taking taxes from nobody. And you know what happened in 2019? You added the fewest jobs since 2010. And if you stay on that economic plan for 10 years, America gonna get bankrupt. $7 trillion. $7 trillion. Just remember that. $7 trillion. $8 trillion. So let's see. David Parker said, yeah, that's called leaving. Okay. So Mike Lowry says, bro, stay on topic. Hold on a second. Mike, we are I thought I was on topic, Mike. We talking about the tax rate. I want to go back and catch that, Mike. I'm sorry. What Mike Lowry said. Mike, where you at, Mike? I'm sorry, Mike. Mike, I'm sorry, brother. I really, really wanted to do that. The screen jumped on me. You know what I'm saying? I see David Parker. I see you guys, all y'all's opinions. Richard McCann says shut down the government. Richard, that's a problem. That's a big problem, Richard. Well, so will you shut the government down? All y'all Republicans, I don't like you gotta get away from that stuff. When you shut the government down, how you gonna run the country? Who gonna run the country? You're gonna have chaos. What? Oh, you talking about the government's about to shut down? No, don't shut the government down. I don't believe in that. Like, why should they shut the government down? Like, for positioning, that's what y'all don't understand. The American people are hurting. If you going to work and you getting your paycheck, you think you're not worried about it. But there's people who depend on what the government provides. You're gonna shut down the government. So who said that? Let's shut down your business. How about that? And let's let you go home and not make no money because they can't get along and they argue. Does that make sense? We only think of things that don't affect us. If it don't affect us personally, then yeah, shut down the government, get rid of the government. Yeah, just yeah. And if we keep you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna have no country. You feel me? Shut the government down. Nah, you don't need to shut the government down. They need to make a deal and do their jobs. That's what needs to happen. That's in my opinion, though. Cool grandkids say, if you can't understand Tim, maybe go watch Sesame Street. Hey, Tim, I think he's telling you to. So Rich Murhead said, tax the rich. You know what I'm saying? Albert Rodriguez says they'll move their money to Panama. Just block them from doing it. Just block them from doing it. They could move their money. We don't care where your money at. The money that's theirs is theirs. You see what I'm saying? It's just that if you got an asset in America, then yeah, we need you to pay 28% tax if you sell it. We need you to pay 28% on that if you sell it. And if you're a billionaire, you see what I'm saying? You made more than $100 million a year. Yeah, we need you to just pay a little bit more taxes. Because we know you're not going to do nothing to help feed them poor people. So that's what we're going to do with that money. We're going to take that money. We're going to go help somebody. So Crystal says, I'm Russian and this is documented. Congratulations, Crystal. But unfortunately, this isn't the USSR. This is the USA. You see what I'm saying? So, Crystal, since you Russian, I mean, y'all can't even, can you beat Ukraine? Hey, I thought Putin was like some kind of, like the way they made Putin seem like Putin just like, do you like Russia's the great, Russia's a superpower. Russia ain't nothing. Russia ain't even in the top 10 economies in the world, and you can't even defeat Ukraine. You fighting 2 years with Ukraine? You see what I'm saying? America had a problem with occupying Afghanistan. But America just flew through there and they overthrew how long it took America to overthrow Afghanistan's government? How many days? Russia's not as powerful as you think. I knew that, in my opinion, I knew that from the beginning. They got nuclear weapons. But if you can't use your nukes, Russia almost like a third world country if they can't use them nukes. You see what I'm saying? That's how y'all want America to be. Where you got 10 ultra rich, you know Putin might be one of the richest people in the world. That's why Donald Trump like him so much. You see what I'm saying? Just get rid of all the guardrails, everything. We're just going to throw everything away. You know what I'm saying? And let me be just like Putin. Trump want to be Putin. Trump want to be Putin. Like, for real. He want to just be an ultra rich guy. You know what I'm saying? But what Putin don't understand is when them 10, 15 rich guys that run Russia, when they get sick of him, you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen to him, right? He going to be out of there. The hard way or the easy way. We don't want to be like Russia. We don't want no country like that. We want to keep America like it is and just keep trying to reform it. I'm saying, like, y'all act like this a question, okay? Like, I'm sorry, y'all. I have kind of got off topic a little bit. But listen, this is what I'm saying. Everything I hear Donald Trump say about America, like America is like Haiti. Am I lying or not? If you guys weren't from America and you just could listen to what he's saying, okay? And you guys traveled abroad, when you hear Donald Trump talk, you would think America was Haiti. Oh, our country is so bad. Our country, nigga, excuse me, homeboy, our country is the richest country in the world. What you talking about? Bro, best military in the world, best quality of life in the world, extend the most opportunities to regular people in the world, give more money away to other countries than any other country in the world. Yeah, we do need to fix our country, but this dude, like, he want to scrap this the best this democratic experience called the United States of America. It is greater than Rome was at that time to that world, to the modern world. And you just want to throw it in the trash. What you gonna put in this place? That's what I'm saying. Republicans want to destroy everything, but they don't have no solutions. You want to get rid of Obamacare, but what you gonna do with those 30 million people who don't have insurance? That's my question. You want to reform America, but I'm saying what ideas have he came with a government that he's gonna put in place of the government that he's saying he wants to overthrow because our country is just so bad. Our country is just so bad, bro. It's the worst country in the world. So how are you gonna change it? Project 2025? Come on, guys. Tim says, I will keep myself safe. That's what we're supposed to do, Tim, 24/7. You see what I'm saying? But if you can help keep the streets safe, you could keep like elementary and high schools that keep getting shot up. If you could pass a law, because Tim, listen, you my buddy, bro, but I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. If something happened to one of our kids personally, if that's your kid in that high school, I guarantee you it's going to change your mind about guns or just easily accessing guns. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't think they'll never be able to take our guns away. I really don't believe that. But like, yeah, AR-15 in Atlanta, what's the point? Who needs an AR-15 in the middle of the city of Atlanta? What you finna do? Go hunt some pigeons? You feel me? You feel me? So yeah, we should change our rules and laws certain places. Now, if you down in Savannah, like you could go hunting down in Savannah, outside the city limits. But in the middle of Atlanta, no, they don't need AR-15s in the middle of Atlanta. What for? What you gonna do with an AR-15 in the middle of downtown Houston? It don't make no sense. So yeah, we need some kind of something on the guns, don't you think? Because this was gonna happen. If we don't reform our gun laws, something bad enough will happen to where even the Republicans gonna say, yeah, we gotta take them guns. You don't want that to. So go ahead and reform it. I hope that helps. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm saying if something bad enough happened, if them government come from your go, it'd be just total chaos. I'm saying we don't want to live in a chaotic world, dude. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep on. So Joanne Baptiste Cummins says the capital gain tax is for $100 million owners. Other taxes are for 400K plus owners. That's not correct, Joanne. The capital gain tax. Here, look, I'll give you the numbers right here. So the capital gain tax actually affects single filers if you make $47,025 or less, joint filers if you make $94,050 or less, and heads of households if you make $60,000 or less. You pay $0% on qualified realized long-term gains, okay? If your taxable income exceeds those amounts, you are subject to 15 and 20% tax rates. So, you know what I'm saying? Like the billionaire minimum tax is actually for people who make $100 million or more. You see what I'm saying? But capital gain taxes, yeah, they affect people who make, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, if you making the money, like, why not pay more? So Richard McCann says it never happened, never will. I'm not sure what you're talking about. So David Parker, okay, these are all you guys' opinions, Trump supporters. I'm sorry, guys. Why is what I have your business? Government lover. I'm not a government lover. How am I a government lover? You saying what you have is your business. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, you are your brother's keeper. You see what I'm saying? You have to report your income. You saying why? Why? I'm saying, bro, listen, y'all scared. The Republican Party is being hijacked by Canadians. You know the leaders of the Proud Boys, you know they from Canada. You got Canadians in America, bro. Canadians. America is being hijacked by Canadians. Government lover. Like, why? How am I not supposed to love? This is my country. I was born here. Everything I know is here. How am I not supposed to love my government? So just destroy the government and replace it with Donald Trump. I am the chosen one. Hold up. Let me get my Kool-Aid. Gotta drink that Kool-Aid, bro. Pizza guy. How are you? How you doing, Mr. Pizza guy? He says you are aware that aren't automatic, right? And since they are semi-auto, the grade in caliber from 9mm to 5.56 is not enough to justify illegalization. Maybe you're correct. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using logic. I think that's the best way we should govern is just using common sense. I'm just using common sense and logic. That's all I'm saying. And I would go downtown Houston. You see what I'm saying? Go to downtown Atlanta, go to downtown New Orleans, go to downtown Memphis. Let me get out the South. Go to Manhattan, go to Brooklyn. You see what I'm saying? Go to Queens. You see what I'm saying? Go to Watts. Go to South Central LA. You see what I'm saying? Go to Hollywood. Like, what you need guns for? You see what I'm saying? You don't need no kind of automatic weapon. A handgun, yeah, let them have handguns. Let them have handguns. I'm not for banning no handguns for qualified, you know what I'm saying, American citizens. But what you need an automatic weapon for? Because see, that's our problem is them switches on them guns. You see what I'm saying? Like but that's our problem. If they go into high school, bro, it's that rapid fire. That's how you gonna kill so many people. And you let the man go into high school with a knife, how many people he gonna kill with a knife? Let's say he going into high school to kill people. Excuse me, y'all. He going into high school to kill people with a knife. How many people you gonna kill with a knife? You see what I'm saying? If he going into high school to kill somebody with a 9mm, just a regular 9mm, no switch on the weapon, okay? How many people he gonna kill with a 9mm? He could kill a few. But before the police get to him, it's going to be a lot less than if he had an AR-15. But I don't want him to take the AR-15s away. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you live in, I wouldn't say a suburban area, if you live in a rural area, let them have the AR-15. People go hunting, don't they? They use them for different purposes. Let them have whatever guns you want if you live in a rural area. Because my suspicion is, if you look at the statistics, if you live in a rural area, you see what I'm saying? You probably are less prone to go out there and just shoot up stuff. But I might be wrong. But I know for 1,000% fact, anywhere in Chicago, in my opinion, anywhere in the Chicago city limits, they need to ban all long rifles, long guns, long anything. Anywhere in Chicago. Real talk. That's just my opinion, though. So, YVONNE Kelly, how you doing, ma'am? I've seen you in here before. Glad for you to return. She says, no, it's to protect against tranny. What you mean? What you mean? A policy to protect against training. Okay, then. That's cool. So let's see. Joseph Penn said it's not about hunting, it's about the government coming for your rights. The government coming for your rights. So Joseph Penn, so if that's the case, then you against abortion, then, right? Because this is what I'm saying. Like that, I'm telling y'all who y'all talking to, bruh. Like, I'm not one of these commentators. I'm gonna be all the way authentic with you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. So Joseph Penn, then, it's about your rights to own whatever kind of weapon you want, right? So you for abortion. Because most of these people, these NRA type people, they're like Republicans, but they against abortion. Because Harris is saying that it's about a woman's right to choose. She believes that a woman should have the right to choose to abort her baby. She feel like the government shouldn't tell them what to do with their bodies. Women what to do with their bodies. Y'all heard her say that? So I'm saying, if you saying, hey, the government shouldn't tell me what guns to hold, then you should be, the government shouldn't have no say in nothing. So you should be for abortion. You should be for gay rights. You should be for black people doing whatever. You should be for all these things that the Democrats are for, that they're saying the government shouldn't tell you who to love. The government shouldn't tell you to let grown men be in the bathroom with my 12-year-old daughter. The government shouldn't tell you nothing then, right? You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't tell you nothing. The government shouldn't tell you to go out there and murder somebody. The government shouldn't tell you nothing, right? That don't make no sense. It's the government's jobs to make laws. We electing them. That's what we in this chat talking about. Electing people to make laws. That's their job. They're lawmakers. It's their job. You know what I'm saying? So Disha Hops, how you doing, ma'am? I never seen you in here before. She said, we don't need nothing on guns. We need applications on who could be parents. That is so true, Disha. Disha, listen, I hope you like this channel. You know what I'm saying? And you subscribe, hit the notification bell. Man, like, we just jump in here and how Kush Boy 420. What's up, partner? Sorry, I just seen that, man. How you doing? The king of the trolls, he been with me day one, like Tim has from day one. Kush Boy in the chat, y'all. Disha, I agree with that, but unfortunately, we can't make people fill out applications on who could be parents. We just can't do it. That's what needs to happen, but we can't do it. It's not always the parents, though. You see what I'm saying? Because look, say if I have a gun cabinet and I got my guns in my gun cabinet, that's a lot of times this will happen. How you going to stop that 19 or 20-year-olds from getting in that gun cabinet? How you going to stop them? That, I mean, you could say you could blame that on the parent, but I don't know if I blame that on the parent. I don't think you really could stop them from getting to the gun. Sean says, we already there. Okay, Sean, how are you doing, Sean? So NATO says, NATO, who's been dropping mega, and I mean mega fart bombs, megaroni. the Tar Heel text says, we are ignoring the top 1% pay roughly 45% of all taxes. They should. Look, the Tar Heel Tech, since they pay 1%, look, they pay 45% of all taxes, right? How's it hurting them? Which one of them is hurt? Is it hurt Elon? How? Because it looked like to me he getting more money and more money and more money and more money and more money. So him paying 45% of the taxes, to me, it's like they getting blessed from it or something. Because they just getting richer. They paying 45% of the taxes and getting richer. So they paying more taxes. How's it hurting them? It's like they getting a blessing from somewhere or something. Because the only thing I do see with these ultra rich Americans, they get richer. The reason why Bill Gates ain't still number one, because he quit the race and started giving the money away. They all need to do it, but you can't force them to do it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just tax. We just going to make them pay 40% of the taxes. The Tar Heel Tech, thank you for that comment, though, brother. I really appreciate it. He says, and And top 5% pay 66% of all taxes. Stop ignoring a huge portion of the population ain't doing nothing. Well, I'm saying the huge portion of the population can't afford it. Why I'm gonna Tim Richardson, why I'm gonna make you pay more taxes? Tim, you got kids. This man got kids. He going to work every day. He working hard, bro, for his family. He taking care of his family. He need a tax break. That's my opinion. If you make $563,000 a year and you selling $1 million house, you can afford to pay 28% taxes on that $1 million house. You can afford it. That's all I'm saying. But all the money that they making, you still gotta go to the cities where all these corporate headquarters. Why down the middle, Austin, Texas? You see that big and D bill. You see all these, they moving to Texas. All these corporations moving to Texas. Look how many homeless people in the city. How many of those corporations are going to help those homeless people? You know who's going to have to help them? The city of Austin. You know who's going to have to help them? Travis County. You know who's going to have to help them? The state of Texas. You know who's going to have to help them? The federal government. Indeed's not going to help them. So where the city of Austin, the Travis County, or the state of Texas, or the federal government gonna get the money to feed them poor people? Where they gonna get the money for? You can't sell enough military equipment, bruh. It's not enough military equipment you could sell them. Where are we gonna get? Just tell me the plan of how we gonna feed all these poor people. Because I'm saying we gotta feed them, don't we? Don't we gotta feed them? Tell me if I'm wrong. So David Parker says, last time our people had guns taken, I'm sorry, David, but I don't know if every time it's like last time. You see what I'm saying? I don't remember a time in America where all the guns were taken. But I mean, obviously we need to have a conversation or a stream on gun control. You see what I'm saying? But look, David, this is all I'm going to say about that. I said, and you guys could ask my day ones, ask Kelly, ask Kush Boy, ask Tim. What I said from the get-go, I said this on a stream long time ago, bro, is that the only thing I see is bro, to me, it needs to be left to the states because every community is different. You see what I'm saying? Even in Houston. If you go up to the Woodlands, that's like, I don't know if you consider it a suburb of Houston. It's about 30 miles from the city center of Houston, okay? If you go up to the Woodlands, then you can let them people have guns. I'm talking about 30 miles away from the city center. But in the city center, you need to make it as hard as possible for people to get guns. I don't see how, look, the other crimes might go up, but I'm saying how would that not help the murder rate? You can't ban those kind of guns, and it's you got to have a policy in effect. You got to increase the numbers of police. You see what I'm saying? It's got to be like a plan. You can't just say, okay, we're going to say you can't have long weapons, and we're just going to sit back and look at the numbers and then see how it turned out. And then, no, that's not how that works, bro. You got to have a whole policy to go with that in place. Bro, I'm not no politician. I'm just giving common sense opinions. And I give common sense opinions on anything you guys say. You see what I'm saying? It's just common sense opinion. Son of the Sun, how are you doing? I haven't read one of your comments yet. Says, what good is it cutting taxes for trust fund babies? I agree with you 1,000%. How's it going to help? Ben Landon says 100%, David. People are blank crazy. That's his opinion. LNG Explorer says, you're a lawn man? I don't understand that. Colin Bass says, all of our taxes are going to the illegal immigrants. That's a problem, bro. But if you fix immigration, then we won't have to worry about that, right? So just get Harris to fix immigration. Put the pressure on her. Push her to the right. Make her say something she's going to have to stand on against immigration. That's all you got to do. Just push her to the right on immigration. Ask her in this debate a point-blank question about immigration and make her stand on it. And if she don't stand on it, she'll be a one-term president. That's all you got to do. So Kelly Quinn says, David Parker, maybe his thoughts don't align with yours, but that's why this channel exists. Remember, he's an independent. Kelly, I thank you, baby. Tim Richardson says, thank you for the recommendation. You're welcome, Mr. Tim. Kush boy, he said he's not going to kill anything with that switch. Hey, you know Kush gonna always troll me. Graham says, get out the echo chamber and do research, which includes history and geopolitics. Graham, you do research. Graham, Graham, tell me what president since Ronald Reagan, because these ain't Ronald Reagan's policies. You want to talk research, Graham? These ain't Ronald Reagan's policies. That tax credit, that permanent tax credit that women get for having a child if they make so little money, that comes from Ronald Reagan. Okay, these ain't his policies. So these are the Republicans from Ronald Reagan. So let's talk it. Starting with George H.W. Bush. The first George Bush, no new taxes. Let's start with that. How has it worked out? So you had a Republican in the White House for 8 years before Barack Obama. So how did the tax cuts work? And then Donald Trump. What were you talking about? History? What's the history? What's the history on trickle-down economics? Please tell me the history. Because I'm telling you, listen, before I started I don't have to research. That's common sense. My 12-year-old could tell you that. Well, I think my niece actually, she getting to be a big girl. She probably 14 or 15, and she real smart. You could go ask my niece that. She'll tell you that. And I tell you guys this all the time. You got 100 people in the room. What's 1% of 100? It's only one. Right? It's 1%. 1%, that's one person. So you got 100 people in the room and you got $1 million and you want everybody in the room to eat. And you're going to come in the room and give $900,000 to the one person and the other 99 have to fight over the last 100,000. That's like a slave system, bro. You need to wake up. You saying to let rich people have the money and keeping the money, that is a slave system. That's a slave system. Let them control everything, right? Is that what we're supposed to do? Let the rich people run everything. We don't need no government. We just gonna put the rich people in control. You think they gonna help you? Them people don't care nothing about you, bruh. You think Donald Trump cares about you personally? Like, you really believe that in your mind, that Donald Trump cares about you, Ben, and Son of Son, and LNG. Y'all think that Donald Trump cares about you personally. You really do. Personally. You think he cares about your well-being. I'm not saying Harris does either. You feel me? I'm not drinking no Kool-Aid. I'm not saying Harris does either. But the only thing I'm saying is Harris's policies, her policies. If she's saying that she want to give $6,000 to people who have newborn babies, what's wrong with that? Nah, don't give that $6,000 to a family with a newborn baby. Give that money to Steve Bezos. He creates all the jobs. He's our slave master. He's our slave master. We're going to go work. Yes, sir, master. I'm going to come work for the slave. Yes, sir, master. Like, dude, it don't make no sense. Because the last two Republicans presidents, when they left the White House, America was on fire. So who is that who said that talking about facts? The last two Republican presidents, geopolitics, whatever you talking about. I don't do, bro. Like, you get too educated, you gonna outsmart yourself. That's the problem with America, bro. We outsmart ourselves. You need somebody with common sense logic. Common sense logic. That logic you saying, let them rich people have all the money, don't make no sense. The money that they made and they earned, yeah, let them keep their own money. But you gotta have taxes in order to have a government. Y'all people dumb? How you gonna pay the military? If it's a pothole in the road, who gonna fix it? Apple gonna fix it? Apple gonna fix the potholes in the road. Who fixing the potholes in the road, dude? Amazon gonna fix the potholes. Who gonna fix it? If it's a hurricane, who gonna feed the people? Who gonna get the city back on its feet? Who's doing that? Y'all tell me, Mercedes-Benz is doing that. Like it make sense. So you giving them money. What are they doing with the money to help the whole? What are rich people doing with the money to help the group? No one's trying to take their money. You can't take Bezos' money. Look at the Waltons. How long Sam Walton been dead for? And look at Walmart. Go Google how wealthy his kids are. How many generations? You know, when the Waltons that's alive right now, when they dead, guess what their kids gonna do? Their kids gonna be ultra rich. You can't take their money from them, bruh. They too rich. Bro, you know how much $100 million is? Bro, $100 million will fill this whole room from floor to ceiling. You can't take their money from them, bro. They too rich. So what's wrong with them paying a little more in taxes? Guys, we on top of the last hour. We talking capital gain taxes, man. Having a great conversation with the voters, man. Like usual, bro. I'm going to go over this right now again. Capital gain taxes are only taxes that are on your assets, okay? They're only taxes on assets that you sold. Okay, now let me tell you, single filers with taxable income of $47,025 or less, joint filers with a taxable income of $94,050 or less, and heads of households with a taxable income of $63,000 or less pay 0% on qualified realized long-term gains. So if you make $47,000 or less right now, you pay 0%. That's not going to change under Harris, okay? Now, if your taxable income exceeds those brackets, you might be subject to 15% or 20% tax rates. These are only on assets that you're selling. You say, okay, what's the tax rates? So here's the tax rates. Currently, single people, $518,901. Married filing jointly, $583,751. Married filing separately, $291,851. Head of household, $551,351. So it's at 20% right now, okay? Facts. Corporate tax rate, 20%. Biden wanted to take it to 39.6%. He wanted to double it. But Harris says no. So what Harris did is Harris went to the Tax Policy Center, the Treasury Department, the Congressional Joint Committee on Taxation, and they all said that the government can get the most money if it's at 28%. So Harris broke with Biden and said, no, we don't need to raise capital gain tax to 39.6%. We need to raise it to 28%. And we need to take the number up from $583 for the household to $1 million. So listen, here was what we're saying. If you make over $1 million a year, and if you sell one of your assets that you own for over a year, you'll have to pay 28% instead of 20%. That's all we're saying. If you're making money off Bitcoin or whatever you're making money off the stock market, and you make less than $1 million a year, this won't affect you at all. But if you do have a kid, she want to give you that $400 a month that you was getting before. She wants to give that to you. If you want to start a business, she want to give you a $50,000 tax break. Yeah, let me tax this dude. And Tim want to start a business. Let me give Tim a $50,000 tax break. Because we tax this dude a little bit harder, it's not going to hurt him. You see what I'm saying? So y'all tell me where I'm wrong. I'm back in the chat, guys. Just tell me where I'm wrong. If I see where I'm wrong, guys, you see what I'm saying? Like I've known to change my opinion before. So let me see. NASA 21, I never seen that. Democrats have lost God. Why you say? Well, I'm not going to disagree with that. I was going to say I disagree with that. I won't wholly disagree with that. When I heard Harris say that she came out in support of Israel, I can't wait to hear her foreign policy. You know what I'm saying? I would imagine like against Russia and stuff, she would stand with Biden. But I'm saying I don't think that we should just let Putin have Ukraine. He gonna take Ukraine. Then you know all them USSR countries. He gonna slowly rebuild the USSR. Okay, and after he rebuild the USSR, guess what he gonna do? What if he want Italy then? In 15 years, what if he want Italy? What if he want France? You gonna let him have France? You see what I'm saying? What if he look at India and say he want India? You gonna let him have India? I think he'll be in a tough war. It's a lot of people in India. You see what I'm saying? Like, no, you don't take Ukraine. You don't invade Ukraine. Ukraine is a sovereign nation. So, like, I want to hear her economic policy. I mean, excuse me, her foreign policy. I really want to hear that. T says unemployment was at 10% when Trump left office. It wasn't at 10%, T. I think it was at 6.4%. I think unemployment reached over 10% while he was in office, but most of that was due to COVID. And I've said that before. America, it was 2.7 million jobs lost that he never put back. You know what I'm saying? But I'll give like COVID, even though, in my opinion, he didn't handle COVID right. Oh, this ain't nothing. Oh, this COVID, it ain't nothing. You ain't got to wear a gas mask. All you got to do is just drink a little bleach and everything going to be okay. Crystal says Democrats have lost their mind. Justice says, man, I hate when it does that because I'll be missing people's comments. And this is somebody I hadn't seen. Justice says, T, we had COVID, bro. Tim says, and guess what happens? Zon the King says, no such thing, not affecting at all. I have no idea what y'all talking about. John says, not very convincing. Son of the Sun says Trump took office with the economy booming and unemployment at 6%. And yes, that's true. And that's what Democrats said. So when he took economy, well, the unemployment was less than 6%. The economy was booming. The unemployment was way less than 6%. So when he took office, right, the economy booming, unemployment less than 6%, he coming off. Look, I'll give you this. The stock market, the speculation in the stock market, after he won the election, like the end of November and December, causing the stock market to hit record rates, that's because of his reputation as being a businessman. And the business world believed in him. You see what I'm saying? They believed that. So 2017, he come in. That really 2017 is his economy. Even though, like, it's like this. If I pass a law that really ain't even gonna go in effect till, like, you know what I'm saying, a year, and you can't just come into office and overthrow the law that I done passed. You see what I'm saying? So it's like he was living off of Obama's policies in 2017. 2018, the economy was still doing good. But in 2019, Obama's policy was gone. You can't blame this on COVID. I did a whole stream on this. In 2019, he added less than 2 million jobs for the first time since the last Republican was in office. Because Obama, whole 8 years, he added over 2 million jobs. The whole 8 years. Even the last 2 years that George Bush was in office, he added over 2 million jobs. Since 2019, the American economy added less than 2 million jobs for the first time since 2012. So if COVID wouldn't have happened, then, Crystal, we could have really seen what Trump's policies was about. But because COVID happened, we can't count them 2.7 million jobs he lost against him. How many million jobs he lost? We can't count the 2.7 million jobs against him. This happens every time, guys. I apologize. But we ain't got to skip the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I know the devil don't like what I'm saying. Now I'm just playing. But for real, though, Cool Grandkid said, that's your argument? What's my argument? That trickle-down economics don't work? Prove it does. Abdu, bro, it's 174 people in here right now. This is like the third time. Every time we get on economics, it somehow gets to Trump policies. You know what I'm saying? Well, somebody told me to talk about capital gain tax. Trump says he want to take capital gain tax down to 15%. They're at 20% right now. He says he wants to take them to 15%. Harris says she wants to take it to 28%. We talking about capital gains tax. Every time we get on some economic, we end up talking about trickle-down economics, okay? Bro, Republican, I guarantee you in this stream right now, 195 people, let's just say 200 people, I guarantee you it's 80% Republican. So it might, listen, y'all jump in the chat. Y'all think I'm playing? If you vote for Trump, y'all put a T in the chat. If you vote for Harris, put a K in the chat. Please, everybody. Everybody, all my live people. If you vote for T in the chat, if you vote for Trump, put a T in the chat. If you vote for Harris, put a K in the chat. Okay? I guarantee you it's probably 80% Trump supporters. And every last one of them, I'll ask them to tell me a trickle-down economic policy. Show me how it's worked. You talking about history and research and geopolitics? That's the problem. We get too smart for ourselves. Bro, I want to keep it as simple as possible. Because when you start getting too complicated, that's when you go into la-la land and you start doing stupid stuff like saying that you're going to let all the rich people keep the money, and the government, whose job is to look out for the poor, you're going to starve the government. So you starving the money for the poor. You starving the money to help Tim go start a business, and you're gonna let the rich people keep it. And I ain't picking on Jeff Bezos. I don't have nothing against him, but it's not his job to go feed no poor people. It's not his job to fix no potholes. It's not his job to help Ukraine. It's not his job to worry about feeding the poor in Africa. It's not his job to build new bridges and roads. That's not his job to do that. You see what I'm saying? He's not going to do it on his own. So we're going to have a policy to say, hey, bro, this is America. We gave you the infrastructure to make that money. So we just need you to help out a little bit. That's it. Just pay a little bit more taxes. You feel me? It's just capital gain tax. She ain't talking about raising no other tax besides capital gain taxes. That's it. Zon the Don says they're always long-term trickle-down consequences. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Justice says this war was shut down. OFC, there's going to be huge job loss. Yeah, I believe that if somebody else get elected. So it looked like some of you guys are having a conversation amongst yourself. T says, I'm not the only one making up crap about 1.9% unemployment. Who said something about 1.9% unemployment? Tim says, your logic hurts small businesses. No, it does not, Tim. How does it? How does it hurt small businesses, Tim? Just explain that to me. How does it hurt? You see what I'm saying? Listen, Tim. Okay, listen, sir. From 20, it's at 20% right now. So, Tim, I know you wouldn't say it's hurting small businesses because this is Trump's original plan. Joe Biden never got around to changing it. So the 20% capital gains tax, that's Trump's original plan. Joe Biden wanted to raise it to 40%. Yes, 40% will probably hurt small businesses. Kamala said 28%. 20 to 28%, bro, is not going to hurt no small businesses, bro. That's just my opinion, though. So let's see. Cool Grandkid says, you say Dems are crazy. You cannot put a sentence together to tell the man how he's wrong. Not one sentence. That's all they do. Cool Grandkids is just attack. That's all they do is just attack. That's what Trump people, because Trump trained them. Trump has raised them. Oh, crazy Kamala. You see what I'm saying? Just argue your policies, bro. Show me how trickle down. And he talking about studying geopolitics. What? Dude, what I got to study geopolitics to know that giving money, you the government. Without taxes, the government doesn't have money. That means no roads, no bridges, no teachers, no police officers. You need me to go on? No military. The government is supposed to collect money, bro. That's their jobs. That's the government's job. So I don't understand, like, how does trickle-down economics work? Someone please tell me that. How does not collecting money help you help the country? And letting rich people keep it, how does that help you help? So let's see. Kodos the Mighty says, I can't wait to hear a policy any period from Kamala. She hasn't said one yet. If you go back, sir, and you watch my stream from 2 or 3 days ago, this is her policy right now. Trump's policy is to cut capital gains tax to 15%. You all guys know that billionaire minimum tax. He ain't with none of that. Harris' policy is to raised the capital gain tax to 28%. That's her policy. $50,000 tax break for small business. People start small businesses. We talking, this is her economic policy. You see what I'm saying? This is her policy. Giving a $6,000 tax break to people who have newborn babies. This is her economic policies. Extending those post-COVID Biden tax breaks, giving women with kids $400 a month, or giving them that break in their taxes. This is Harris's policies. We talking her policies right now. Durder says, Durder says mainstream talking points. No, it's not. These are Harris's policies. Me talking about trickle-down economics, no. If you go on the mainstream medium, they're going to talk about the geopolitical and blah, 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 blah. They be getting, and I'm talking Republicans and Democrats. That's a problem with America. These people too smart for their own good. You just need common sense policies. You got 100 people in the room. You need somebody who talking like this. You got 100 people in the room, and you giving all the money to one person and make the other 99 fight for it. And then, listen, the one person you give the money to, I could see if you say, hey, we're going to give you a tax break if you create 10,000 jobs. We're going to give you a tax break if you create 20,000 jobs. I could see if they're doing that. But no, they just all like, yeah, just cut taxes. Yeah, well, the government's job is to collect taxes to pay for necessary services, but we're just going to cut all the taxes. We're just going to let all the rich people keep it and the government get less money. Yeah, we need to disband the government. You're going to disband the government, so who going to run the military? Oh, King Trump, huh? I am the chosen one. Come on, man. Yeah, Cool Kids said you can't add a link for your facts. That's what Tim said to Cool Kids. Sean Kang says, great plan. Thank you, Tim. Or, well, if that was for Harris, I'm sure she'll say. T says unemployment got as high as 14% under Trump. Yes, it did. That is 1,000% correct. But I'll say most of that is because of COVID. It was cut down to about 6%, and he only didn't put back 2.7 million jobs. A lot of those 2.7 million jobs, though, to be fair, they never came back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's COVID. It changed the country. You know what I'm saying? So for 2020, I don't impute none of 2020 on Donald Trump. That's where me and probably T and other Democrats would, disagree, you know what I'm saying, amongst other things. But, that's why I'm an independent, because I don't impute 2020 on Trump. You know what I'm saying? 2017 to 2019, I look at the statistics from 2017 to 2019, the end of 2019 before, the outbreaks in COVID, you know what I'm saying? And so from those statistics is how I would judge how he would do as president. So Cullen says, who y'all got on this debate, the Joker, Trump, or Hyena? Who's the Joker? But who y'all got on the debate? Y'all put it in the chat. Who y'all got on the debate? I can't wait. Tomorrow, y'all, 9 p.m. I know on Wednesday morning, Tim, where my boy at? Where my boy Kush boy? Y'all, I know y'all on Wednesday morning, boy. Because look, if Harris lose that debate, they gonna come in the chat, boy. They gonna be crunked up if Harris lose that debate. You feel what I'm saying? But if she win the debate, I'm saying, I don't know. I feel like if Harris goes out there and performs, and the American people who don't want to vote for Trump, but they're not sold out on Harris, you see what I'm saying? If Harris goes out there and perform, I feel like that might be lights, camera, action for Trump. Because I don't care what them Democrats saying, I am looking at them polls. And that lead that she has, that I don't even know. Nash, she got her lead in those battleground states to where it's still kind of like a toss-up Harris lean. It's a toss-up Harris lean right now. But those national polls, bro, that race is a dead heat. It's a dead heat, bro. So she really needs to perform well. I think the pressure's on her. Magpie says, yeah, we all really want to hear it. Cool Grandkids saying Sweden joins NATO. I don't understand that really too much. Cool Grandkids, I'm sorry. But Cool Grandkids, man, I hope you I hope you like the channel and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Just like you see Tim Richardson in here. Tim, I got to make you a moderator. Y'all see Kelly in here. You know what I'm saying? These people have been from day one, bro, and we spark great conversation. Tim Richardson is all the way Republican. 1,000% Republican. I'm an independent, but even if I was a Democrat, he'd still be one of my favorite people in the chat. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about, man. Just having a civilized conversation, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you should, me personally, I'm not going to lean left. I'm not going to lean right. I'm going to stay in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Magpie say nobody said no taxes, never. Well, Magpie, you getting to where I'm at. You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, Apple makes their income from selling phones or selling whatever devices they're selling. That's how they make their money. The American government makes the majority of its money from taxes. Does that make sense too? So you saying, if y'all listen to me, this what y'all need is logic. If y'all look at America as a business, listen to me. America as a business, saying you're going to give a tax break to the rich people is like Apple saying they're not going to make no more iPhones no more. It hurts the whole. It hurts everybody. It hurts the top and it hurts the bottom. It hurts everybody. That's what I'm telling y'all. It makes no sense. High Behind says every government program benefits the already employed middle class far more than those who programs were designed for. Maybe so. But High Behind, what's the problem with helping the middle class? What's the problem with expanding the middle class? What's the problem with rich people getting money? There's no problem with nobody getting money. What Harris is trying to do is let everybody try to get money, not just the rich people. So Stuart Motley says 1,000% Trump. How you doing, Mr. Stewart? Kashawn D says, if you want to go fat for fat, I got you. Like I'm ready for anyone in the chat. Kashawn, start putting them facts in the chat then, my brother. So Tim Richardson says, Trump. Tim, my bro, I know you Trump guy. DG says, people hear money and don't think past that. They'll give and take back elsewhere. That's true. Higher costs at store, like that's what Harris says. She's trying to get rid of that higher costs at the store. Gas, winter coming, oil. If businesses pay more, consumers pay more. Not if you control the price gouging, they don't. So Dan Blackwood says Trump. Maggie Pa says, stop bringing up infrastructure and military because those are things all parties want to and will invest in with our taxes. So cut out unnecessary taxes. But Maggie, this is what I'm saying, baby. I'm saying if you stop taking in the money, babe, that's my problem. If you don't get as much money, you can't spend as much money. You don't have as much money to spend. What you going to do? Go borrow the money? Look at the deficit right now. That's what I'm saying. Like we spending more money than we bringing in. That's how you got a deficit. Does that make sense to you? Oh, we're not making no money. So look, I got another example. I could go day for day with these trickle down economic people. This is my point. Okay, so we're not bringing in enough money. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna let the rich people keep the money that they owe me. I'm gonna let them keep that, and I'm gonna just go borrow the money from a different nation. I mean, they're our citizens. You're their government. You could tax them more money and bring in more money. But what Trump says, we're gonna cut their taxes and go borrow the money. Imagine if you ran your house like that, Maggie Pie. Make it make sense. You gonna stop? I'm not gonna go to work as much anymore, and I'm gonna go borrow the money that I need to spend. Any economic person will tell you that you don't need to be borrowing nothing if you on zero. You need to increase your revenue. So that's how the government gets money, is from taxes. So why would you give them tax breaks and go borrow money? Oh, baby, don't worry about that. I ain't gonna go to work for, look, baby, I got 2 weeks of vacation time, but you know what I'm saying? After them 2 weeks, I ain't gonna go to work for 6 months, and then we just gonna put everything we spend on the credit card. We gonna let all the rich people keep all their money. don't pay less taxes. Because you know what I'm saying? We talking about they pay 45% of the taxes. Donald Trump didn't. That man made over $400 million, pay $700 in taxes. Let him keep all this money while America go use the credit card. So we're going to let our children have to worry about that. We just going to keep swiping the credit card and we're going to just let the rich people keep their money. Bro, it don't make no sense. You don't need no economics major in here to talk to you about trickle-down economics. You need me. Common sense, logic. That's what you need. That's what the government needs in a lot of situations. Common sense, critical thinking, and logic. You feel me? Like a lot of that education stuff, yeah, that works. You need those people who know, like, but I'm saying, like, when you put it together, you know what I'm saying? So Tim says, where are your facts? Dude says right here. Draco says, Tim, you government family employed by the government. I know the government's role in America. I know government's role in America, and the government's role in America is to do A, B, C, D, and E. So Trump wants to get rid of the government. He wants to drain the swamp. But what you gonna put in when the swamp is drained? How the train's gonna run? How the bridge is gonna get fixed? What, you gonna cut the military? You gonna cut the police? You gonna cut the teachers' pay? You gonna start cutting pay? You gonna get rid of the Department of Education? Oh, we don't need that. Yeah, we gonna take the Department of Education and we gonna put that money that we would pay them to help our children. We gonna put that money in the rich people's pockets. It's the party of the rich. Destroy America, destroy Americans' government, and let all the rich people take all the money. You feel me? Makes no sense, bro. No logic. Cool grandkids say you want free trade, but support a candidate that wants to implement more tariffs. Who you talking about? You talking about Harris or Trump? You see what I'm saying? Sean King says Trump obviously gonna smash that robot if he makes it. Sean, if he gets elected. And then I just hope that he does someone else don't try to kill him. That's just what I hope. Because I just don't believe that. I believe when the Democrats leave the White House, if he get elected, I think the government's going to have guardrails in place for Trump. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can take that how y'all want to. I think they're going to have guardrails in place for him. So I just hope that his other ear don't get shot off, or God forbid, like, it be worse. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that, so I don't know what he think he gonna smash. I just, you know what I'm saying? So Stuart Motley says, not a chance, she will win. That's your opinion, sir. The polls don't think that. Even your candidate don't think that. So Barack Blue says she will lose. She's not smart like you. The trolls, man. I'm pretty positive that most of all those people, it's just a bunch of bots in here, man. You feel what I'm saying? Dirty South says MAGA. John, let's see. I want to see that because my boy says, let's see. Did I say any comments for Rafa? Is that Rafa, ARGIZ? How you doing, my brother? He says, vote red, vote for freedom. Freedom is red. Really? Dude, Englehart says trickle-down economics is a Harris Biden thing that you are hating on Trump. No, it's not. No, it is not. So now y'all want to make trickle. That's what happens when I argue people. Real talk. Y'all know I'm a litigator. When I argue people, they want that winning argument. They gonna want it. Because you argue me. If I take a stand on something, bro, you could ask my parents, you could ask anybody who really know me. If I take a stand on something, you're not gonna beat me in this argument. You're gonna have to cheat. Because I think so much, I think too much, I'm too logical of a person. Those are things that I'm not going to pat myself on the back for because God made me like that. I have no control over. But I do recognize that about myself. If I take a stand on an argument, you are not going to beat me on this argument, period. I don't care what tricks you have. I don't care what scams you got. I don't care what you try to come with. You not beat me on this argument. I done thought it all. I thought about it all the potholes, the pit, I've thought about it all. You're not gonna beat me on the argument. Trickle down economics is a Republican policy that does not work. So let's see. Do Inglewood, I see that Tim spelling MAGA. So do Englehart says, like, are you really going to blatantly look past the last 4 years we just been through? What's wrong with the economy? Hey, dude. So what's the unemployment rate right now? How many jobs are being added? That's what I'm saying. You act like the economy is just that bad. I see no evidence of it. So let's see who else. I don't want to miss you guys' comments. So I see Crystal again. Okay, or Katos the Mighty. I don't think I read one of his comments. He said, I can't even imagine being military right now. No way I'd be a Marine or something for Kamala told. Bruh, they're not, the military is not political. You know who a party the military's for? They're for the red, white, and blue party. They're America. That's what keeps America together. America strong. You feel what I'm saying? They're not partial like that. That when I was in the army and I put my hand on the Bible, you know what I said? I solemnly swear to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I swear to defend the Constitution, the one that Donald Trump's supposed to get rid of. Listen to me, y'all. The Constitution Donald Trump want to get rid of. I solemnly swear to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That's all enemies. Domestic enemies too. The military they're not supposed to be for Kamala or for Trump. They're supposed to be for America. Whoever is elected is their commander in chief, period. Nonpartisan. Because if they were partisan, that's how you could destroy a country. You know what I'm saying? So you want to destroy our country and make them be partisan, or you want to just let them be nonpartisan like they are? So how behind Crystal says, bring, cause I'm suing. Bring ABBE, bring Abby, cause I'm suing. Crystal, you wild. Crystal, who you suing? You feel me, Crystal? Who you suing? Crystal, you need some help on them legal documents. Y'all so funny. Crystal, who you gonna sue, baby? You need some help. You need a fighter. You know what I'm saying, Crystal? Because if I can't help you, I'm sure I know an attorney, depending on the state you in, who definitely can. Okay, so High Behind says, in truth, all nations can only earn enough to support the top 40%. You feel what I'm saying? So Joint Johnson says, we live in the winter of civilization. So y'all love, some people love, like, I don't see what spring, summer, fall, winter, like, I don't understand that. The summer, the winter. What's up with a season, bro? Like, the only thing I care about a season is if it's hot or not, like it's burning up. Or like when I was a server in Mississippi, like the summertime mattered, because in the summertime, like that's when you get, bro, I could have sworn I killed that, y'all. I'm sorry. In the summertime, that's when you get all of the business. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying that's all you can. I don't know. Winter, summer, spring. I don't understand that. Rafa says black communities should vote for Trump. I mean, I don't see why. Like black, white, Indian, Mexican, Hispanic, I think each individual in that community should vote for who they think the best candidate is, or provide the best policies for America. It's at its close. Okay, Stuart says, I'm here to hone my skills watching and hearing you. Well, I appreciate it, Stuart. But Stuart, I'm just a regular American. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing special. Christopher Martin says, you're lying to yourself. Okay, Christopher, that's your opinion. I mean, Carrie Carrie Weber says draining the swamp means getting rid of that rot that is so deeply rooted in our government and taking us back to the republic that we are initially set out to create but never truly had. Carrie Weber, I appreciate that. If you don't mind, I'll ask you, please, to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, so I could get you in here, okay? Kelly says, draining the swamp. This is what the Republican definition or draining the swamp or Donald Trump's. Because I think with Donald Trump's is different. I think Donald Trump's draining the swamp is like swamp. Carrie, how is disbanding Homeland Security draining the swamp? How is getting rid of the FBI draining the swamp? These are things that he said. He wants to disband Homeland Security. That's draining the swamp. I just don't see how. You know, I think he has a different idea of what the Republicans would say draining the swamp means, because I heard them say that like probably before he even got elected. But I agree with that, though. But, Kelly, it's like you got to say how we going to do it. We can't just say we're going to fire everybody and start over. I don't think that's going to work. You see what I'm saying? I don't think it'll work like that. So, Kelly, how does he do it? So, Maggie P says, how about the truth? DG says they ingested the 818K. They reported downward. Food prices are horrible. True. Businesses closing. True. 20 per hour is bad, but when rent's through the roof, true. Businesses pay more taxes. That's good for government, not workers. I'm saying, but what is the government? Y'all act like the government is the enemy, okay? This is a business. The government in DC is the corporate structure of the business. So when Apple sells the iPhone or the iPad, y'all trying to act like where the money's supposed to go? Do Apple give you all the money, or do they pay you a salary? So that's what I'm saying. The government's supposed to get the money and disperse the money. That's their job. That's not socialism. Y'all need to let me go on Sean Hannity's show. VP Harris need to hire me, and I need to go on Hannity's show and explain to him that is the government's job to disperse money. That's their job. Who pays the military? Y'all want me to keep saying it? Who pays all these people? The government. They're the head of the corporate structure. They're supposed to disperse the money. I'm missing something. So let me see. I want to see. So that's the first comment I seen from Kelly. Kelly says, that's the beauty of being a miracle. We get a choice. That's a real privilege. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know Kelly's like probably one of my favorites in this chat room. So Quinn, Draco's talking to Kelly. He says, did he not want to segregate who could have a rifle by location? Why not? Why not? Why not? That's what I'm saying. What you need a rifle in the middle of downtown Chicago for? If you live in an apartment in the middle of downtown Chicago, what do you need an AR-15 for? You gonna go catch some deer? You feel me? Well, listen, look, Draco, how many people you know that live from the south side of Chicago? How many people you know? Ask them what they ever did with AR-15. What you need an AR-15 in Chicago? Most of them boys don't never leave the south side unless they go downtown, right? So what you need an AR-15 for? Make it make sense. I'm trying to figure it out. What you need the AR-15 for in downtown Chicago? I'm just trying to figure it out. That's all I'm saying. So NASA 21 said, NASA 21, I remember when the Democrats had P. Diddy saying, you know what that is? NASA, how old are you? How old are you? Because you said that. I thought about that before. I don't know if the Democrats had him saying that, but I remember when P. Diddy was saying vote or die. You feel me? You feel me? Joint Johnston says, what books do you read? I mean, I don't see what that matter, how that matters or anything like that. I was trying to catch Kelly's comment. Kelly, I'm sorry. I see Maggie Pie, she always be saying stuff, some good stuff. Stop dispersing it to solutions that don't benefit us. Maggie, was that for me? Overcomer says government is bloated. It is bloated. I'm not disagreeing with that, but you can't get rid of it. He might have seen some errors in Homeland Security, okay? You can't get rid of Homeland Security, bro. Oh, yeah, I'm going to throw Homeland Security in the trash and I'm going to get rid of the FBI. I'm talking about, you talking about fundamental institutions in the United States. The government is bloated. But I'm saying, come give us solutions besides just saying drain the swamp. Give people jobs, yeah. You know, $50,000 tax break. She trying to do. Arcados the Mighty says the right to be called a man or a woman. I don't understand what that means. I guess y'all are talking between themselves. Yeah, disperse it properly. Yeah, Maggie, you do have to disperse it properly. But I'm saying that's the way you fix it. Listen. Okay, this is what you need common sense for. Maggie, you listening? Tim, you listening? I know Kelly, you listening? Draco, you listening? Y'all, this is what you need. This is what you need it for. This is what you need it for. Let me tell you, if you want to give tax breaks, if you thinking giving tax breaks to a rich person stimulates the economy by creating jobs, cool. But I'm saying, give them the tax break. If you create 10,000 jobs, I'm going to give you this much of a tax break. That's how you do that. You don't give them a blank check. The same way on the Democrats. I agree with you, Maggie, if they disperse it properly. But that's like saying, will Apple pay their employees properly? That's the corporate structure to pay their employees. The government is the corporate structure of America, and it's their job to pay the employees. It's their job to disperse the money. It's the government's job. So the government is socialism. Listen, bro, I can't wait till I get me a stream. We got to talk about this debate, but I'm going to go over all of the people the government pays. Let's go over. You want to? Because they disperse a lot of money. How many people work for the federal government? How many people in the military alone? They disperse a lot of money. That's their job, is to pass the money around. That's not socialism. That's just like what now I could see if you saying, if you got a candidate that says everybody needs to make $18 an hour, regardless of what job you're doing, where you work at, if you're a doctor, yeah, that's socialism. You see what I'm saying? But just the government just helping out poor people or paying more people, that's not socialism, bro. So DG said, that's good. I get it. But when taxes rise on goods and businesses, consumers hurt, they do. And that's why she wants to put a cap on how much businesses can raise prices. So they won't price gouge. So Zoe says Hannity gave Trump a reach around at the last town hall. I mean, he's supposed to. Stop dispersing it to situations that don't benefit us. Maggie Pie, I agree with you now, baby. We on the same page. I agree with you 10,000%. You see what I'm saying? But still, the solution to the entire problem is to build the economy from the bottom up. That's the solution. So I'm going to slide down here. I'm going to get some more people. Monica, how you doing, Monica Green? Nice to see you in here. So Monica is talking to Zoe. She says, I am an American citizen married to a Spaniard, and I just don't get why Americans vote against their own interests. Monica, I agree with you 1,000%, baby. Glad that you're back. Tim says there was a baby strangled to death. What is that? What you talking about, Tim? Tracy Word says, is that the government's job, provide you with your... No, it's not their job. But the government's job isn't to provide you with financial security, but it's to look after the citizens of America. Yes, that's their job. Tell me how it's not. The government's job is to look after the city. Who else gonna do it? Who gonna do it? Who else gonna do it? Who gonna keep them Russian bombers from coming and attacking Washington, D.C. at nighttime? Who gonna do it? Listen, Timothy, if you away from your house, let's just say you flew to Paris, France, and your wife and your kids in the house, you feel me? And they gotta pick up the phone and call somebody for help because it's a madman in the house. Who gonna come protect them? Whose job is it? There's a big pothole in the road that's taking out everybody's tires. Whose job is it to fix it? Y'all seen the bridges that be that's going down in America? Because you know America was built up, what, in the 50s and 60s? Economic booms. Them old bridges. Whose job is it to fix the bridges? So yeah, it is the government's job to look after its citizens, to help the weak, to help the poor, to help the disabled. The government is the corporation of this business. Yes, it's the government's job. It's the government's job to look after its people. Yes, it is. That's what I'm saying. Y'all start getting super smart people reading all these super smart books. Look, I went to college. That's just to learn the critical thing. But when we start talking about stuff like this, I'm not going to try to use no college education. I'm going to use common sense logic. Yes, it's the government's job to look after the poor. To enable them? No. Like Maggie Pie says, you have to make sure they're getting the money, spending it right, doing this right, doing that right. Yeah, I'm for more regulations on stuff like that. But just giving a blank check to rich people on their taxes, like that's stupid. That's like Apple saying, hey, we're not going to sell iPhones no more. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to give them away to the top 1% of the company. You're going to give them away? You don't. So that's like the main income come from taxes. Yeah, we need them taxes to be able to pay for our programs, to pay our military, to pay our teachers. You need them taxes. Don't give nobody no tax break that makes over $1 million a year. That's all I'm saying. Trickle down economics never work. Chef William, how you doing, sir? He says he was just talking about doing an oath to the Constitution, and now he's actively against the Constitution. No, I'm not. I wasn't talking about an oath. I'm just saying, like the people who put their hand on the Bible, somebody was talking about the military supporting Trump. That's why I was just saying, no, they put their hand on the Bible. I solemnly swear that I will protect and defend the Republican Party against all Democrats. You see what I'm saying? You don't need nobody that's like some kind of great, like you need some common sense. No, the military ain't supposed to support either one of their parties. They're supposed to be neutral. Yeah, they get to vote. That's their civic duty. But they're not supposed to support Trump or Kamala. Whoever gets elected is the president of these United States and is their commander-in-chief. That's why I was talking about taking the oath. If you want to talk about somebody attacking the Constitution, I don't know if you're talking about me, Chef William, but I have heard Donald Trump say something about the Constitution. The Supreme Court stated they don't have a duty to protect and serve. Who don't have a duty to protect and serve? You talking about the police don't? They don't have a duty to protect. If the police don't protect and serve, what we got them for? If the military don't protect, what you paying them for? Like, Arcados the Mighty says Ukraine's leader's wife just bought a $5 million sports car after we handed them billions. I don't give a flip. Excuse my language. I don't care nothing about that. All I'm saying is that we don't know. If you let Putin take Ukraine, you think he's going to stop? You think Ukraine going to be the last country he take if you give it to him? The man then publicly says he wants to rebuild the USSR. So if you give him Ukraine, you think he's going to stop at Ukraine? Food for thought. Cullen Bass, how you doing, sir? I hadn't read one of your comments. He said, but they haven't been looking out for the people because it's Americans are homeless and migrants is getting the money and resources. That is true. Close the border. That's all you got to do. Close the border. You solve that problem. You don't give rich people tax breaks because the migrants are taking the money. Crystal says, tell Hunter to pay them taxes. Yeah, tell them to pay them taxes. I ain't no Democrat. I'm not no Democrat. If Hunter ain't pay his taxes, make him pay his taxes. Just like Donald Trump pays $700 on $450 million. Tammy Pierce says Kamala's father is voting for Trump. What does that tell you? I don't know what that tells me. Just tell me here, Republican. That's it. Kerry Weber says most of you don't even realize that you're not supposed to pay income tax. A lot of poor people don't pay income tax. They get tax refunds. So Kelly says, Chef William, would you like to hear more? Kelly Quinn, thank you, baby, for being a moderator. You the best moderator ever. Kelly, you feel me? So let's see what we got. John says, how many primary votes did Kamala receive in 2020? It don't matter. John, does that matter? John Brown, thank you for your comment. John, if she don't win on November 5th, ain't none of that gonna matter. But if she win on November 5th, she gonna get 100 million votes plus. You feel me? If she win. But if she don't win on November 5th, ain't none of that gonna matter, right? Tim Richardson says tax cuts sucks. That's my boy, Tim. You feel me? Them tax cuts suck, bro. We need to get rid of trickle down economics. Sandy says, Maggie Powell, where's it going? So Chef Williams says, Washington, June 27th, the Supreme Court ruled on Monday that the police did not have a constitutional duty to protect a person from harm, even who had obtained a court-issued protective order against it. Okay, Chief William, you saying the Supreme Court rules that? They don't have a constitutional duty. Listen, since you're talking about law, I'm going to tell you this. You don't have a constitutional duty to protect nobody from harm, okay, Chief William? So if this person over here call you and you show up for them, and I call you and you don't show up for them, you don't have a constitutional duty, but you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say you discriminating against me. You hear me, Chef William? I'm going to say you discriminating against me. So that constitutional duty ain't going to mean trash when you getting hit with a lawsuit for discrimination. You feel me? That constitutional duty don't mean nothing. I don't care nothing about that. Somebody say you discriminating against them, you in a world of trouble. If they could prove it, you in a world of trouble. You see what I'm saying? I done seen police departments get broke. You feel me? Like, you know, but hey, so Monica Green, I'm sorry, I missed her comment. What Maggie Pa say? Opinion is not misinformation. Conversation is key. No need to report. Maggie Pa, you are 1,000% correct. And even if they report it, it's not going to change nothing. It's not going to hurt nothing. They could say I'm misinformation all they want to. Bro, you know how many channels that I watch that's misinformation? So I'm a Republican. Every Democrat channel I see, I'm going to say misinformation, misinformation, misinformation. Dude, what are you talking about? Just like Donald Trump, here come them tears. They're cheating on me, a 78-year-old billionaire crying. They don't want to hear the truth. That's my opinion. If you don't like my opinion, shoot, YouTube is a big platform. You feel me? I'm saying like, we just trying to have the regular voters, you see what I'm saying, are just trying to have a regular conversation. But if the Trump people want to come you could do whatever you want to. It's not going to change nothing. You feel me? That's a life, man. It's a life, man. I mean, if I turn on Sean Hannity, I see some Sean Hannity saying that I don't want to hear. You know what I'm going to do? Change the channel. Who you going to report it to? What YouTube going to do about me speaking my opinion? Then they need to cut down everybody. They need to shut down everybody's channel. Because I watch a bunch of hip-hop channels where they give bad information all the time. You feel me? Misinformation. It's called freedom of speech, buddy. And you don't like that. And you don't like people talking about Donald Trump in a certain way to where, you see what I'm saying? So Timothy says she wasn't running for president. Okay. Maggie Pop, thank you for that comment too. You and Kelly, I appreciate you guys. Corey says, and Trump paid taxes legally. It might be less than but it was legal through our tax system. And that's all I'm saying. It just needs to be reformed. Yeah, he did pay legal taxes. It's not about being less than I want. It's that he paid $700. Dude, in 2020, bro, like I'm trying to think the last time. Before that, like 2021, well, all 20 and 2020, bro, I was making paychecks where they would take 700 in taxes out of one check. I understand some of that might have been Social Security, some of that might have been state tax, but I'm saying, dude, like, bro, $2, $3, $4,000 in federal taxes alone. I did last year. You know what I'm saying? I got one check, like, how much that check was. I forgot how much that check was. Probably about 12,000 some dollars. Bro, you know how much taxes they took out? They took over $1,000, $2,000, bro. They took that. They took the taxes out, bro, right then. That's more than 750, bro. $450 million. We're not talking about this man made $30,000 or $40,000. We talking about $450 million. He paying less taxes than us. Is that misinformation? I'm sorry. Somebody offended? I'm sorry. That's just facts. You feel me? Now, me saying that he needs to pay more taxes than he paid, that's my opinion. If you don't like that, then, I mean, I don't know what to say. What else I'm supposed to say? You guys want me to be real with you, or you want me to just try to fit in or try to lie or just say, I'm going to just tell you just what's the facts. You could go report whatever you want to. I mean, that's on you. That's your opinion. You have that right. If YouTube allows you to report something, you have the right to report whatever you want to. I don't think it's going to help your case that much, me personally. You feel me? Because giving my opinions don't go against none of YouTube's policies. They do have policies to where you can't say stuff. You talking about misinformation, you must be talking about on Twitter or on Facebook. Misinformation. Because on Facebook, they really don't want you talking about no election. You feel me? But this ain't Facebook, man. This YouTube, this channel's all up. Bro, you talking about misinformation? Go watch one of them Proud Boy channels in Canada. Proud Boys are from Canada. The Canadians. I ain't even going to get on that conversation, though. Guys, we about to wrap it up, though. I'm trying to get to all the last of these comments. Guys, I really enjoyed myself with you guys today. Kelly, you can see like the channel's growing a little bit. She says, please come to the table with grown-up words. No need for that. Draco says, Ghost, you need a LLC or 5013. I got an LLC, my brother. 925 says, Trump 2024. Hey, Costa Mighty, I lost my job and almost more under Biden. I had money out the blank with Trump. Overcoming trends. Trump couldn't get those tax breaks. Hold on. I got to read that. Trump couldn't get those tax breaks unless he did what was necessary to earn those tax breaks. That's true. All we just trying to say is get rid of them. Largemouth Hunter says you are proving the case for low information voters. That's your opinion, sir. That is your opinion. You feel me? Just remember, low information America, because the Republican Party won 3 elections total since 1992. Since 1992, the Republicans have been in power. 92 to 2004, how many years is that? 32 years? The Republicans had 12 of those years, and the Democrats had 20 of those years. So that's all of America, brother, across multiple generations that have spoken, and their words sound similar to mine. They don't believe trickle-down economics work either. Tim Richardson says Trump 2024. Tim, I feel like one of the two things gonna happen. Either I'm gonna turn into a Trump supporter, or I'm gonna make you a Kamala supporter. Skagawee, I'm not even gonna read your comment, man. That's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Skagawee, I don't do the name calling. That's the only thing I don't do, my brother. You see what I'm saying? You could say misinformation. You could say a lot of things, but bro, don't call names, bro. You acting like a little child now. You feel me? We getting into children's hours, bro. Don't call names, bro. That's why I gotta block you, bro, because like we need to understand that somebody, listen, remember when we were Kelly, Maggie Pie, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Y'all remember we like 5 years old and somebody says something you don't like. You said, oh, that's why you got cooties. You know, you start calling people's names because they don't agree with you. You know, so I'm 44 years old, bro. I talk to Tim all the time. Tim got different beliefs to me. I'm not gonna call Tim no name. You feel me? Jim C says, Where can we find the facts on the Don Trump tax? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to call nobody names because they disagree with me, bro. That's like little kid stuff, bro. We got to get over that. We got to be able to learn how to disagree civilly. That's what's wrong with the discourse in American politics. So Brick Squared says, disprove attack the premises, not the person. Thank you, sir. Don't go against the person. Like, are you making it personal? Like Donald Trump cares about you, or the Republican Party don't care nothing about you, bruh. You just a number. So I'm saying, tag me on what I'm saying, bro. You getting personal. I'm saying that's like some childish stuff, bro. Like for a grown person to be calling somebody a name because they disagree with you. Oh, mommy, he got cooties. He don't want to be my friend. Come on, guys. Voting blue is low vibration, 925er. He said he voting red, voting red. Arcadis he says you couldn't pay me 10K. You pay me 10K. 10 a Kamala speech. James Doken says it doesn't make sense that these people are calling you a liar when you're speaking all facts. It really is the movie Idiocracy. James, I thank you for that, sir. Thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? But James, they killed Jesus when he came to try to save him. You feel me? Think about that. We don't think about stuff like that. I think about that stuff. Jesus came to try to save them and they killed him, man. You know what I'm saying? So for somebody to attack me personally because I gave them my ideas, like, I'm not nobody special. I expect that from people. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I was a Democrat, then it'll be nothing but Democrats in this, mostly. You know what I'm saying? As soon as one of them crazy Republicans come in, we just kick them out. You feel me? But because I'm in the middle, man, I'm gonna, talk to people who don't see things the way I do. Because we talk about, you can ask Kelly, like, when we start talking about Trump, a lot of those times we'll get on Republican themes and, Democratic themes like abortion and like gay rights and stuff like that. And I do not support abortion and gay rights or anything like that. I promise you I don't. You feel me? I'm an independent. But economic policies, I agree with Harris. So it goes both ways. It's not just one way, man. It's just today we talking capital gains tax. And if we talking capital gains tax, I'm going to tend to go to the left because I don't believe in trickle-down economics. That's just my opinion. Guys, Kelly, I want to start with you, Kelly Quinn. Kelly Quinn, everybody in the chat, y'all say hello to Kelly Quinn. Kelly Quinn is one of the moderators. I think Tim Richardson says, thank you for being open to change. Ghost, you welcome, Tim. And look, Tim, like next time I come in, Tim, I think I'm going to add you as a moderator too. Tim and Kelly, man, they like day one people, man. Like them, like, you know what I'm saying? Wherever this channel goes, like, you know what I'm saying? As long as they keep supporting, you know what I'm saying? That's what's going to come with it. But guys, we come to the end of the stream. I did 3 hours today. I'm going to be back on tomorrow. Like tomorrow night is the debate. So we're going to start talking about the debate. I'm going to give some numbers, some statistics, and some facts about whether or not the debate will move the needle in the presidential election. The reason why I think it will this time to be so consequential because of what people like Tim is saying. Tim is saying that she hasn't done interviews. We don't really know, like a certain dude, guys, I'm sorry, they just be blowing up my phone. We don't know certain policies that she has. You see what I'm saying? So during that debate, like a lot of questions that are being asked probably will be questions that the American people have been dying to ask her, but they haven't got the chance to ask her yet. So I think a lot of people's eyes are going to be open on VP Harris, and that's for good or bad. It could go left or right. So we just going to have a conversation about the debate, who you think will win. We're going to do that tomorrow. Everybody in the chat, like, I thank y'all, man. I love y'all so much. Kelly, baby, you know I appreciate you so much. Tim, brother, you know I appreciate you so much. Magpie, I appreciate you so much. You know what I'm saying? This is an independent stream, but all the moderators in here probably would be Republican, because that's what it's about, dude. Like, Democrat, Republican, I don't care what you are. You know what I'm saying? You an American. I got love for you. You guys believe in us having a conversation, a civilized conversation together, showing love for each other, man. So I got love for y'all. Kelly, again, baby, thank you so much for moderating. I think you did a great job today. You guys in the chat, if you guys haven't liked the channel, please like it. I will ask you to please subscribe, hit the notification bell. Like on August the 26th is going to be when I start the podcast. So I'm actually going to be not doing it on my phone. I'm going to be on a computer. I'm going to be screen sharing. People like Kelly, a lot of the times, like we'll probably be like, I'll like invite them. I'll invite you guys, instead of reading your comments, I'll invite you guys to join the stream, so you guys I could see you guys, or the voters could see you, and you could say it out loud. You know what I'm saying? Very interactive stream, guys, all in this together. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys so much. Y'all support me so much. I love you guys so much. Kelly, baby, again, thank you so much. I hope you guys, y'all enjoy y'all's day. Y'all go enjoy your day. Whoever you support in the election, man, just have conversations with them all the time. Motivate as many people as you can to go out there and vote, because I think this election is really important, just like all of them. So, guys, I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for the people who participated. Thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day, okay? So take it easy.